Chapter 1090. At this moment, the little thieving cat's body was stuck in the giant crystal and couldn't move. However, a silver-gray flow of energy flowed out of the little thieving cat's body and entered the black short blade through its claws. When the unique patterns on the black short blade glittered with silver light and became brighter and brighter. At a certain moment, the black short blade trembled slightly in the giant crystal. Bao Feng's expression changed. He didn't know what method the little thieving cat had used to enter the crystal, but the little thieving cat wasn't able to move at all. The black short blade trembled slightly in the crystal. What surprised Zhao Feng even more was that the crystals within the range of the black short blade's vibrations were sliced into pieces. One had to know that the crystals within the God Corpse contained the physical strength and divine power of the God Corpse when it was alive. Even if the demigods of the continent zone teamed up, they would find it very difficult to destroy them. However, at this moment, the black short blade in the 10 crystal pieces moved slightly and shattered the surrounding crystals. Because some of the surrounding crystals were shattered, the little thieving cat's paws were able to grab the black short blade. What happened next made Zhao Feng even more shocked and speechless. The little thieving cat injected a wisp of energy into the black short blade and easily cut open the crystal in front of it. It then dug out a small cave in the giant crystal. Meow meow! The little thieving cat moved its limbs in the small cave with a smug expression. It then rubbed the black short blade in its paws and revealed a look of love. The divine weapon that the little thieving cat obtained seems to be able to cut through the crystal walls as it pleases. Doesn't that mean that it can dig out any treasure hidden here? Zhao Feng's heart shook and felt that this was unbelievable. There were many treasures in the God Corpse that would make anyone go crazy, but they were all sealed in the crystal walls. Even a demigod couldn't do anything about them. At this moment, the little thieving cat used the black short blade in its paws to dig out a piece of crystal. However, no one would be able to sense this unless the divine sense of a demigod could see through the crystal walls. However, there were only 2 demigods here, and they were fighting in the sky. It was impossible for them to notice the little thieving cat inside a certain crystal. Although the little thieving cat's eyes were tired after obtaining the black short blade, it was still overjoyed. The little thieving cat then turned its attention to the purple and blood-colored crystal under its feet. Ding! The little thieving cat released a wisp of silver-gray energy from its claws. It used the black dagger in its hand to easily shatter some of the crystals, slowly revealing the purple and blood-colored crystals. Zhao Feng couldn't guess what this purple blood crystal was, but how could something that the little thieving cat valued be bad? Ding ding! A portion of the crystal was buried deep in the ground. The little thieving cat continued to dig. Sacred King Earth Ghost's voice sounded at this moment. Zhao Feng, is what Sacred King Feather Spirit said true? Sacred King Earth Ghost roared. In fact, he was very helpless in his heart. He didn't dare to go against the Holy King of the Supreme Imperial Hall. However, he had to help Zhao Feng right now. Once Zhao Feng was chased by Sacred King Feather Spirit and company, Zhao Feng would definitely tell them the secret of the fruit before he died. However, Sacred King Earth Ghost felt that it wasn't a big deal after the people from the Grand Imperial Hall told him about Zhao Feng's evil deeds. However, the most important thing was that Sacred King Earth Ghost could tell from Sacred King Feather Spirit's words that he was determined to kill Zhao Feng. Zhao Feng, hurry up and apologize to them and give them some compensation. Sacred King Earth Ghost messaged Zhao Feng in secret. The Sacred Kings of the Grand Imperial Hall only cared about their face. As long as Zhao Feng apologized sincerely and Sacred King Earth Ghost persuaded them, the people from the Grand Imperial Hall might let go of Zhao Feng. Sacred King Feather Spirit, you guys are too shameless! Zhao Feng's expression paused for a moment before he said, What? Sacred King Earth Ghost almost fell down. He had never imagined that not only would Zhao Feng refuse to do as he said, he would even spout such arrogant words. At the same time, Sacred King Earth Ghost also felt that something was wrong. Logically speaking, escaping from the people from the Grand Imperial Hall and plucking the fruit was the most important thing right now, but Zhao Feng didn't seem to want to resolve the enmity between him and the people from the Grand Imperial Hall. Sacred King Earth Ghost, it's not that we're not giving you face, but I must kill this shameless thief. Sacred King Feather Spirit's expression was extremely ugly. Even the sacred kings and sacred lords behind him felt humiliated. Let's see how you're going to escape this time. Sacred King Feather Spirit revealed a deadly smile. The other two sacred kings immediately stepped forward as well. The three sacred kings released the projection of their little worlds to disturb the air so that Zhao Feng wouldn't be able to escape using the misty spatial world. Zhao Feng had an anxious expression as he floated in the air, but part of his consciousness was still focused on the little thieving cat's situation. At this moment, the purple and blood-colored crystal had been completely dug out by the little thieving cat, and there seemed to be some crystal-red veins connected to the purple and blood-colored crystal. Without saying anything else, the little thieving cat used the short black blade in its hand to cut it in half. The little thieving cat then picked up the giant purple and blood-colored crystal and swallowed it. Boom! Right at this moment, the entire dimension started to tremble. Inside the space, the gigantic vines suddenly trembled, and a terrifying intent domain was released along with the trembling of the giant vine. Some of the experts who were using the intent power to cultivate were suddenly attacked by this terrifying intent power. Their heads became dizzy and their consciousness sank. The intent released by Sacred King Feather Spirit and company was also instantly shattered. What's going on? The expressions of the two demigods in the air turned to surprise. The fruit they were fighting over was the product of this vine, and now, the giant vine was shaking. The situation isn't looking good. Demigod Withered Breath had a grim expression. Boom! Demigod Withered Breath burned his mystic light sacred power and merged it into a wisp of divine power as he attacked the shattered crystal on the surface of the red fruit. Crack! The crystal on the surface of the red fruit started to shatter under Demigod Withered Breath's attacks. The red fruit instantly released a scorching intent realm energy. Even the souls of the two demigods felt a burning pain. How is this possible? It shattered so easily. Demigod Withered Breath couldn't believe it. He had spent so much effort at the start, but he still couldn't break through the crystal. But now it was shattered so easily. However, he didn't have time to think too much right now. Demigod Withered Breath directly plucked the red fruit. Boom! The moment the red fruit was plucked, the huge vine in the space trembled even more violently. On the other side, Nan Gongxing, who was attacking the crystal, suddenly felt that the crystal in front of him had become much weaker. Soon, Nan Gongxing dug out the black fruit from the crystal. At the same time, the experts that were digging for treasures in this dimension were able to easily destroy the crystal and obtain the treasures within. Even Sacred King Feather Spirit and company, who were about to attack Xiao Feng, started to hesitate. This was because the crystal walls didn't seem to be as tough as before. This meant that it would be slightly easier to obtain the treasures within the crystal walls or stones. Quick! The power of the crystal walls has suddenly become weaker. Attack the fruit on the vine! What's going on? I can feel that the power of God hidden within the crystal walls is slowly fading away. The dimension became chaotic, and many experts were puzzled and shocked. The expressions of the two demigods in the sky changed as they each attacked a fruit in front of them. Boom! Pun! Demigod Withered Breath soon obtained another fruit. The intent of this fruit seems to be much weaker? Demigod Withered Breath was slightly puzzled. On the other side, Demigod Arcane Void also obtained a fruit, but he also felt that the fruit in his hand wasn't as strong as the red fruit that Demigod Withered Breath obtained. Could it be that the energy within these fruits is also fading away? Demigod Withered Breath said after thinking for a while. The sacred lords and sacred kings below also copied the two demigods and attacked the fruits on the vine. However, right at this moment, the crystal walls on the surface of the giant red vine all shattered. When the entire space shook violently. Boundless energy surged out of the huge vines like a wild beast. Even the heavens and the earth began to distort. Many experts who wanted to snatch the fruits had their soul consciousnesses shattered by this sudden burst of intent power. Even the two demigods in the sky started to quickly retreat and didn't dare to approach the giant vine. Run! The vine has revived! Some of the sacred lords that were severely injured or weaker were so scared that they immediately ran away. When the giant vine quickly twisted in the air and radiated a desolate and ancient aura. The countless vines on the giant vine started to twist and sweep through the dimension. Arg! An early-stage sacred lord that was running away was hit by one of the vines, and his body and soul were shattered. Boom! Pun! Pun! The crystal in the sky instantly shattered and fell. The inside of the crystal seemed to be about to collapse. Let's go! This vine is too terrifying! Whoosh! Whoosh! All the experts within the dimension started to retreat. Nan Gongxing also decisively chose to leave after obtaining the black fruit. Zhao Yufei also woke up from seclusion and quickly left. Whoosh! Zhao Feng turned into a bolt of scarlet lightning and flew toward the exit. Let's leave this place first. Sacred King Feather Spirit had an ugly expression. They had only just arrived and didn't even have the time to search for treasures before this place became a forbidden zone. Don't let that brat escape! Sacred King Green Light revealed a deadly expression. My fruit! Sacred King Earth Ghost had a conflicted expression, but he could only leave. At this moment, even demigods had to leave. He was just a measly sacred king, so he didn't dare to go any deeper. On the other side, the little thieving cat within the crystal used the short black blade in its hand to easily cut through the crystal that wasn't as tough anymore. Whoosh! The little thieving cat turned into a dark silver streak of light and flashed through the air. The next instant, a black streak of light appeared next to the red fruit that Sacred King Earth Ghost had just attacked and cut through the crystal. Then, the red fruit disappeared. Rumble! Boom! Boom! All the experts outside the crystal had escaped, but none of them left. The divine senses of the two demigods entered the crystal and inspected the situation inside. No one noticed that somewhere on the side of the crystal wall, a silver-gray light had pierced through the crystal wall and escaped. When a faint golden ripple covered Zhao Feng's left eye as he saw what was happening inside. The huge crystal red vine and the countless colorful fruits twisted and turned until they became transparent and gradually disappeared. The aura of God within the crystal walls started to disappear as well. The energy within the weapons and resources within the crystal started to disappear as well, and their quality started to decrease. Chapter 1091. All the energy that disappeared is flowing into the ground. Zhao Feng's eyes saw through everything. The energy flowing into the ground flowed through the crystal walls and toward the direction behind Zhao Feng. That direction seemed to be the head of the god corpse. Too weird! Zhao Feng's eyebrows furrowed. After the vines revived, all the energy within the crystal had disappeared. The crystal walls and the treasures within were no exception. So what was it that was absorbing the power here? Zhao Feng couldn't imagine what would happen if such a terrifying amount of energy was gathered together. The aura of energy in the crystal walls is also slowly disappearing. At this moment, someone said. Immediately, everyone's gazes shifted away from the gigantic crystal to observe their surroundings. As expected, the aura of God in the crystal walls was weakening, and the thick heaven-earth yuan qi in the air was also slowly disappearing. At the same time, the quality of the treasures and resources within the crystal walls was also slowly decreasing. They weren't as valuable as they were before. Could it be that all the energy within the god corpse is going to slowly disappear? This question appeared in everyone's mind at this moment. We need to act quickly and find some more treasures before the fortune within the god corpse completely disappears. A human sacred lord immediately said. Then, the sacred lord led his team members and quickly left this place. The speed at which the energy within the god corpse disappeared varied. For example, everything within the crystal was disappearing extremely quickly, but the energy within the crystal walls was disappearing extremely slowly. There might even be some places where nothing had happened. The expressions of the two demigods in the sky became grim. What's going to happen? Demigod Withered Breath murmured with worry. If such a terrifying amount of energy was slowly disappearing, something would definitely happen soon. Whoosh! Demigod Arcane Void was the first to leave. After all, he had stopped Demigod Withered Breath in the crystal dimension. Now that there was no fortune here, and the human forces here were slightly stronger, it would be troublesome if Demigod Withered Breath teamed up with the experts here to deal with him. Demigod Arcane Void led some other members and flew in the direction behind him. He obviously sensed the direction in which the energy was flowing. As Demigod Arcane Void left, more non-humans also left. Sacred King Roaring Sky stayed where he was for a while. He really wanted to kill Xiao Feng, but the human demigod was still here, so he didn't dare to do anything. He could only leave. "Xiao Feng, let's go!" Nan Gongsheng said. Nan Gongsheng harvested a dull black fruit. Compared to the others, his harvest was considered plentiful. "Humph, where do you think you're going?" Sacred King Feather Spirit's cold harumph sounded from behind Xiao Feng and company. "Hand over everything you've got." Sacred King Green Light's expression was grim. In their opinion, if it weren't for Xiao Feng being here, they would have rushed up to him. The three holy kings might even be able to find some treasures in that huge crystal object. Now that the huge crystal was completely destroyed, they naturally wouldn't let Xiao Feng escape. Some of the sacred lords and sacred kings nearby immediately retreated when they saw this. What did Xiao Feng do? How did he offend the Grand Imperial Hall? And there are 3 sacred kings and 4 sacred lords. Some sacred lords and a few sacred kings were surprised. Even the group from Sky Suspension Palace wouldn't dare to offend Sacred King Feather Spirit and company unless Demigod Withered Breath came out. "Brother Feng, what do we do?" Zhao Yufei's face was filled with anxiety. Although her mystic light sacred power and intent had increased dramatically in the crystal dimension, she hadn't fully consolidated it yet. The 3 of them still had no chance of winning against such a lineup. "Xiao Feng, let's settle our debts." Sacred King Earth Ghost also stood out. He was extremely depressed that he didn't get the fruit. If it wasn't for the fact that Xiao Feng offended the people from the Grand Imperial Hall and forced Sacred King Earth Ghost to give up on the fruit, he might have succeeded already. Sacred King Earth Ghost obviously didn't dare to offend the Grand Imperial Hall, but now that Xiao Feng was being chased by 3 sacred kings, he wouldn't be scared even if Xiao Feng had the replica God's Slaying Arrow. Even if Xiao Feng had the real God's Slaying Arrow, Xiao Feng wouldn't be able to use much of its power. 4 sacred kings and several sacred lords would be able to block it. Furthermore, Sacred King Earth Ghost had also led a small group here, and there were several sacred lords from the Earth Demon cult in his group. Sacred King Earth Ghost? Sacred King Feather Spirit paused for a moment. Sacred King Earth Ghost was standing on Zhao Feng's side when they were in the crystal dimension just now. Why did he suddenly change sides now? "This brat and I are only working together temporarily. Now that we're out, our partnership is over." Sacred King Earth Ghost had a cold smile. The 3 sacred kings from the Grand Imperial Hall nodded their heads. From their point of view, Xiao Feng wouldn't be able to escape even if he had wings. The addition of Sacred King Earth Ghost wouldn't affect him much. "Even the Earth Demon cult is involved. I heard that Xiao Feng had a conflict with the Earth Demon cult when he chased after Sacred Lord Demonic Abyss." Some of the human sacred lords discussed. Many of them had the attitude of watching a good show. The Grand Elder of Sky Suspension Palace, Demigod Withered Breath, glanced at Xiao Feng, then led the experts of Sky Suspension Palace to the back. That direction was the direction where the energy within the God Corpse was flowing. Although Demigod Withered Breath had a bad feeling, he had to go and take a look. "No one can save you now!" Sacred King Feather Spirit smiled and said after seeing the group from Sky Suspension Palace leave. At this moment, Xiao Feng and company were facing 4 sacred kings and several sacred lords. Such a terrifying lineup was more than enough to destroy even a 3-star super sect with a deep foundation in the continent zone. Nan Gongsheng's expression became anxious for the first time. Originally, when facing a team of 3 saint kings, although the 3 of them were in a disadvantageous position, if they took out many of their trump cards, they would still have a fighting chance. However, Even Nen Gongxing didn't feel any hope against 4 sacred kings and several sacred lords. However, Nen Gongxing still couldn't help but look at Zhao Feng. However, all he saw was a calm face. Nen Gongxing's expression shook slightly. Zhao Feng was still so calm in the face of such a dangerous situation, as if nothing had happened. What could he do? Pretending to be calm. Sacred King Feather Spirit looked at Zhao Feng and couldn't help but mock. When the 4 sacred kings instantly released a powerful surge of intent that merged into the air and locked onto Zhao Feng and company. This way, they could prevent Zhao Feng and company from using the misty spatial world to escape. Zhao Feng spoke just as the 4 sacred kings were about to attack. My helpers are here. Zhao Feng gave a faint smile. Helpers? Sacred King Feather Spirit's expression froze. Zhao Feng had helpers? Who can save you at a time like this? Sacred King Green Light laughed mockingly. There were 3 sacred kings from the Grand Imperial Hall and the Grand Elder of the Earth Demon cult here. Apart from Sky Suspension Palace and demigods, who else in the continent zone could save Zhao Feng? Furthermore, according to what he knew, Zhao Feng wasn't related to any demigods in the continent zone at all. Right at this moment, a golden figure flew out from a certain pathway. Kun Yun! Sacred King Feather Spirit immediately called out. The expressions of the other 3 sacred kings changed. They had obviously heard about Kun Yun before. Apparently, the demigod Kun Yun had been reborn. I didn't expect Zhao Feng to be related to Kun Yun. This Kun Yun isn't simple. The sacred lords who were waiting to watch a good show were also stunned. Kun Yun was once a demigod, and even the Grand Imperial Hall wouldn't easily offend a demigod. Furthermore, these sacred kings didn't represent the demigods of the Grand Imperial Hall. It's him! Nen Gongxing also paused. He finally understood why Zhao Feng was so calm. Zhao Feng had already contacted Kun Yun. Furthermore, Kun Yun had already reached the level of a sacred king. His true strength was probably the strongest sacred king in the Lord dynasty. If it was just the 3 of them and Kun Yun, they wouldn't need to be scared of the enemy in front of them. On the other side, Zhao Yufei let out a breath. You're finally here! Zhao Feng looked at Kun Yun. When he came out of the crystal, Zhao Feng sensed that Kun Yun was nearby through the token that Kun Yun had given him in the misty spatial world. Therefore, Zhao Feng wasn't in a rush to leave after coming out. Fuck off! Who dares to hurt him? The demigod Kun Yun flew over and released a heavy, dominating, and terrifying force that instantly crushed over. The intents of the 4 sacred kings were instantly dissolved. Senior Kun Yun, I am an elder of the Grand Imperial Hall. Zhao Feng extorted a member of the Grand Imperial Hall and tried to kill the 13th prince. Sacred King Feather Spirit revealed a respectful expression and immediately explained. What bullshit are you talking about? Fuck off! Didn't you hear me? Kun Yun had an irritated expression as he interrupted. The expressions of the 4 sacred kings became ugly. Although they were all sacred kings like Kun Yun gave them a lot of pressure. Zhao Feng paused for a moment and felt that it was extremely weird to see Kun Yun so irritated. From his point of view, Kun Yun would at most help him out. There was no way that Kun Yun would fight with the Grand Imperial Hall for him. However, Kun Yun didn't give the upper echelon of the Grand Imperial Hall any face at all. Right as Zhao Feng was thinking, another figure flew out from the pathway that Kun Yun just came out from. Boom! The terrifying pressure caused the heavens and earth to tremble. All the experts present felt their hearts sink as their bloodline and saint force were suppressed. A non-human demigod! A mystic light realm sacred lord nearby exclaimed in shock. Kun Yun, where do you think you're going? The non-human demigod roared, causing the heaven-earth Yuan Qi to tremble. When he saw Zhao Feng next to Kun Yun, his expression froze for a moment before he started to roar with laughter. You're Zhao Feng, right? The non-human demigod looked at Zhao Feng with killing intent. Demigod ferocity! Zhao Feng's eyes widened as he swallowed a mouthful of saliva. He finally understood why Kun Yun had such an anxious expression. Kun Yun was being chased by a demigod. However, what made Zhao Feng depressed was that the demigod chasing after Kun Yun was the non-human demigod Ferocity. If he knew this was going to happen, he would have run away with Nan Gongxing and Zhao Yufei the moment Zhao Feng came out. However, Kun Yun's arrival resolved the danger in front of him, but an even greater danger appeared in front of him. Chapter 1092. You're Zhao Feng, right? Demigod Ferocity looked at Zhao Feng with killing intent, but he didn't act rashly. However, he did not act recklessly because there were still many human experts present. He knew a few of the saint rulers from the Grand Imperial Hall. If these human experts teamed up, even Demigod Ferocity wouldn't be able to do anything to Kun Yun and Zhao Feng. After all, demigods were still considered sacred kings. They had only touched the power of a god or reached the level of a true god. Zhao Feng, you have a feud with Demigod Ferocity? Kun Yun paused for a moment as he looked at Zhao Feng. Kun Yun, don't even think about getting your reward this time, Zhao Feng said coldly. Kun Yun felt helpless. He didn't know about this. Although Kun Yun had obtained a lot of fortune in the God Corps, it wasn't enough to solve his problem of breaking through to the heavenly divine realm, so Kun Yun really needed the resources that Zhao Feng had. The human sacred lords nearby felt that the situation wasn't good and immediately started to gather. Among those present, only Saint King level powerhouses could fight against this foreign race demigod. Luckily, there were many human Saint Kings present, and there were 3 from the Grand Imperial Hall. Therefore, most of the human sacred lords here sought protection from the Grand Imperial Hall's group. The 3 sacred kings from the Grand Imperial Hall and Sacred King Earth Ghost in front of Zhao Feng started to think. They could obviously tell that Demigod Ferocity had a feud with Zhao Feng. Since they were all humans, they should have teamed up with all the human experts present to fight against Demigod Ferocity. However, this meant that they were helping Zhao Feng solve the problem. The key was that they wouldn't dare to attack Zhao Feng after helping Zhao Feng solve the problem of Demigod Ferocity. Retreat! Sacred King Feather Spirit led the group and retreated, creating some distance between them and Zhao Feng. The Grand Imperial Hall has a feud with Zhao Feng and company. They're planning to abandon them. Who cares, as long as we can survive? This is a demigod of a foreign race. We must rely on the power of the Supreme Imperial Hall. The human sacred lords around obviously knew what the sacred kings of the Grand Imperial Hall were thinking. Although they felt that humans should be united against the non-humans, they didn't dare to lecture the experts of the Grand Imperial Hall. The Supreme Imperial Hall is really reasonable. Demigod Ferocity laughed savagely. When he arrived, he could naturally tell that Zhao Feng and the experts of the Grand Imperial Hall seemed to have some conflict. However, from the looks of it, this conflict wasn't just an ordinary one. At the crucial moment, the Supreme Imperial Hall actually abandoned Zhao Feng and the others. Die, you too! Demigod Ferocity suddenly stepped forward. Boom! Heaven and earth trembled faintly. Endless profound meanings began to circulate. Terrifying saint energy mixed with a trace of divine power exploded in the void. Demigod Ferocity also instantly appeared in front of Kun Yun and Zhao Feng, and an undefiable and terrifying pressure descended onto Zhao Feng and Kun Yun. Boom! Kun Yun's body instantly flashed with a golden light as mysterious golden talismans floated around him and radiated a terrifying physical force. Zhao Yufei and Nan Gongxing weren't Demigod Ferocity's targets, so the pressure they had to face was slightly weaker. However, they still felt as if they were in a swamp, and it was as if a mountain was pressing down on them. Even breathing was extremely difficult. This is a demigod expert! Zhao Feng activated his Blood Devil Sun bloodline and circulated his sacred lightning body as he spoke with difficulty. Although the 3 of them had improved in the crystal, especially in terms of intent, they still felt as small as ants when facing the demigod intent. However, the 3 of them still felt as tiny as ants in the face of the demigod's will. Zhao Feng immediately said. When 2 powerful surges of power instantly appeared behind Zhao Feng. One was black and chaotic, while the other was dark purple. Zhao Feng released the projection of two little worlds to counteract the demigod's pressure. Zhao Yufei obviously knew that demigod ferocity was only targeting Zhao Feng and Kun Yun, but she wouldn't leave Zhao Feng's side. Zhao Yufei's body suddenly started to burn. She was like a blazing purple meteor that shook the yuan qi of heaven and earth. Damn it! Nan Gongxing felt helpless. Although demigod ferocity was only targeting Zhao Feng and Kun Yun, he couldn't separate from Zhao Feng, or else he wouldn't be able to face all the experts from the Grand Imperial Hall by himself. When the wicked and chaotic purple and blood-colored divine light also appeared from Nan Gongxing's body. The power of the projection of the miniature world from the three of them was astounding, enough to make ancient saint rulers retreat. Pun! A portion of demigod ferocity's intent was pushed away by the four powerful little worlds. Kun Yun, who was blocking demigod ferocity, instantly felt a lot more relaxed. Sky Sealing Palm! Kun Yun circulated his physical sacred power and slowly thrust out several dozen palms. The several dozen golden palms twisted and sank into heaven and earth as if they had just disappeared. However, in reality, these intent palms landed on demigod ferocity's intent and sealed a portion of it. At the same time, they cut off the connection between the intent and demigod ferocity. Let's go! Kun Yun used this chance to escape with Zhao Feng and company. Humph, none of you will be able to escape this time. Demigod ferocity was slightly surprised. The four of them had managed to break through his intent, but he was still slightly happy at this moment. However, he was still happy at this moment. He didn't think that there would be other humans from the Grand Imperial Hall that didn't help Kun Yun and Zhao Feng. This way, he would be able to kill Kun Yun and Zhao Feng and save Sacred Lord Myriad Forms at the same time. The other Sacred Lords were still dazed after Kun Yun, Zhao Feng, and demigod ferocity left. He's able to fight against a demigod! Someone exclaimed. That's right, Kun Yun and three other Sacred Lords were able to escape from a demigod. It's all because of Kun Yun. One has to know that Kun Yun is a reincarnated demigod. Another early-stage Mystic Light Realm Sacred Lord said disapprovingly. Kun Yun was the main reason why Zhao Feng and company were able to escape. Kun Yun's intent was extremely strong, but it wasn't enough to fight against the demigod. Although Zhao Feng and company weren't strong, it was enough to let Kun Yun let out a breath and use the sky-sealing palm. Humph, I don't believe they can survive being chased by a demigod. Sacred King Feather Spirit harumphed in anger. He was just unwilling to accept that Zhao Feng should be personally executed by him. I'll be leaving now. Sacred King Earth Ghost felt uneasy and said goodbye to the Sacred Kings from the Grand Imperial Hall. He originally thought that he would definitely be able to kill Zhao Feng if he teamed up with the Grand Imperial Hall, but something like this happened. Although he also thought that Zhao Feng would definitely die against the demigod, Sacred King Earth Ghost felt uneasy if he didn't personally confirm Zhao Feng's death. Within the crystal passageway, Zhao Feng, company, and Kun Yun sped through the passageway. Kun Yun, you cover the back! Zhao Feng straightforwardly said. Kun Yun really wanted to curse at Zhao Feng, but he could only do as he was told. At this moment, Kun Yun was the only one that could block the attacks of the demigods. Furthermore, Kun Yun realized that the strength of Zhao Feng and company was increasing very quickly. If the four of them teamed up, they might be able to block demigod ferocity. However, the situation wouldn't be good if one of Zhao Feng and company died. Therefore, Kun Yun had to cover the back in order to prevent that from happening. Sky-killing charge! Powerful mystic light sacred power and a wisp of divine power surged around demigod ferocity's body. One boom! The shadow of a dark brown mammoth suddenly appeared around him. The mammoth roared fiercely, and a terrifying shockwave pierced through the material and psychic planes, crashing down on everyone. Boom! Boom! The terrifying shockwave left a series of cracks in the narrow passageway. Sky Sealing 18 palms! Kun Yun roared as he completely activated his bloodline and soul power. Who? His body flashed with a golden light as his demigod intent and soul merged together. He used a profound intent to unleash 18 golden palms that twisted and charged toward the shockwave that could destroy everything. Damn it, this Kun Yun! Demigod Ferocity couldn't help but curse as he felt the power of his attacks decrease dramatically. Every time, Kun Yun would use this mysterious palm technique to weaken the power of his attacks. Then, he would rely on his powerful physique, intent domain, and defensive secret techniques to resist his attacks. Kun Yun would have died in his hands long ago. Boom! After his attacks were weakened by the sky-sealing palm and weakened by the power of Zhao Feng and company's little worlds, Demigod Kun Yun used a defensive secret technique to block Demigod Ferocity's attack. Little thieving cat! Zhao Feng communicated with the little thieving cat that had snuck into the misty spatial world. Zhao Feng had seen the power of the little thieving cat's black dagger. It could even easily cut through a crystal wall that a demigod couldn't break. The black dagger definitely had the power to kill a demigod. The little thieving cat immediately waved its paws and shook its head. The little thieving cat meant that it had used up too much energy, and could no longer use the black dagger's power. At the same time, the little thieving cat refused to hand over the black dagger. Zhao Feng felt somewhat helpless. From his observations, the little thieving cat was indeed a little weak. It didn't seem like it was lying to him. 1. Boom! In the outside world, Demigod Ferocity's attack was blocked by the combined efforts of the four. However, Demigod Ferocity was faster than the four of them, and soon caught up. Let's attack together and repel him, Zhao Feng said directly. Attack a demigod. The hearts of Nan Gongxing and Zhao Yufei shook, and they felt excited. Sky-shaking fist! Kun Yun laughed as he activated his physical body bloodline and condensed limitless physical force into his fists before punching out. Balls of golden fists radiating a power that could shake heaven and earth flew toward Demigod Ferocity. Wicked Demon Chaotic Sky! Spiritual Radiance Purple Light! Nan Gongxing and Zhao Yufei also used their strongest attacks. A ball of terrifying purple and blood-colored light twisted and charged forward. Sky-destroying Sacred Lightning Palm! Zhao Feng merged the power of his little world of wind lightning and the physical force lightning domain into his palms and unleashed a scarlet golden palm of lightning that seemed to materialize. Zhao Feng compressed this sacred lightning palm to a very small size so that it wouldn't collide with the crystal walls and cancel out the power of the attack. You still dare to fight back? Demigod Ferocity's expression froze. Whoosh! A giant dark red axe appeared in Demigod Ferocity's hand. The axe was extremely damaged, but it radiated a fierce aura. Sky Ferocity Slash! Demigod Ferocity was slightly enraged. He waved the weapon in his hand and slashed out beams of red light the size of mountains that shattered everyone's attacks. He originally thought that Zhao Feng was only at the early stages of the mystic light realm, and could be killed with a flick of his finger. He didn't expect Zhao Feng to have two companions. Furthermore, the strength of Zhao Feng and company was stronger than expected. Adding on Kun Yun, the four of them did indeed have some ability. Chapter 1093. The non-human demigod Ferocity held the tattered axe in his hand and shattered everyone's combined attacks. His axe was originally a substandard god weapon, but it was slightly damaged, so its power had decreased. However, even so, the power of this dark red axe still surpassed normal heaven-grade weapons. Sky-sealing 18 palms! Kun Yun used this chance to use the sky-sealing 18 palms once more. His body flashed with a golden light as he activated the powerful demigod intent within his body, and thrust out 18 golden palms that twisted around Demigod Ferocity. Although Kun Yun's palms weren't able to threaten Demigod Ferocity, they could restrict him. Whoosh! Whoosh! Zhao Feng, and Kun Yun then used this chance to escape. In order to increase their speed, Zhao Feng summoned Sacred Lord Myriad Forms. Myriad Forms World of Wind Lightning! Sacred Lord Myriad Forms squinted his eyes and instantly changed the scenery of heaven and earth. He also gave Zhao Feng a limitless amount of pure power of wind lightning. Hu Zhao Feng's scarlet wings of lightning flashed with an even brighter light as his speed increased. Zhao Feng took Nan Gongxing and Zhao Yufei and flew away. Kun Yun's intent was extremely high, and his speed wasn't any slower than Zhao Feng's. So that's how it is. You actually managed to control Sacred Lord myriad forms. Kun Yun could tell with one glance that Zhao Feng had used the Dark Heart Seal to control Sacred Lord myriad forms. After all, he had been controlled by Zhao Feng because of the same thing. The Elephant Men race definitely placed a lot of importance on Sacred Lord myriad forms' bloodline and talent, which was why Demigod Ferocity was chasing after Zhao Feng to save Sacred Lord myriad forms. How dare you use myriad forms! Demigod Ferocity roared in anger when he saw this, and an invisible force caused the walls nearby to tremble. Divine Light escape! Demigod Ferocity waved his hands, and wisps of divine power surrounded his body. Whoosh! Demigod Ferocity, who was covered in divine light, ignored all resistance and flashed like an aurora as he sped through the tunnel. Sky ceiling 18 palms! Once again, Kun Yun unleashed several translucent golden palm shadows. However, this time, the Kun cloud ceiling palm didn't have much of an effect on Demigod Ferocity. Die, Kun Yun! Demigod Ferocity raised the tattered giant axe in his hand and injected large amounts of mystic light, sacred power, and divine power into it as he slashed out a dark red wave of light. Boom! A hole immediately appeared in the crystal wall above them, and the surrounding crystal walls also shook violently. The dark red light wave instantly shuttled in front of everyone. Not good, Demigod Ferocity is going all out. Before Demigod Ferocity's attack even landed, Zhao Feng, who was circulating his sacred lightning body, felt a terrifying power that could destroy heaven and earth, and an invisible pain spread across his body. Demigod Ferocity's attack contained a large amount of divine power, and the dark red axe in his hand wasn't simple either. You old fart, there will be a day when I recover to the demigod realm. Kun Yun also felt a sense of fatal danger. Buzz! Kun Yun channeled the golden divine light in his body into the ancient gray-white wrist guard on his left arm. Chaos Heaven Protection. Kun Yun immediately stood out as the gray-white wrist guard on his left arm released a golden-white light. Whoosh! Whoosh! A golden-white barrier slowly appeared around Kun Yun's body. Countless runes flashed on it as it redirected all the power that approached it. Boom! Demigod Ferocity's attack landed on the golden-white barrier around Kun Yun and created a loud explosion. One shoo! The golden-white barrier around Kun Yun spun at a high speed and slowly deflected the power of Demigod Ferocity's attack. However, Demigod Ferocity's attack was extremely dominant, and the golden-white barrier around Kun Yun started to slow down as if it was about to stop spinning. Substandard God Weapon. Greed flashed through Demigod Ferocity's eyes as he stared at the wrist guard on Kun Yun's arm. Although it was a substandard God weapon, only divine power could unleash the full power of a substandard God weapon. Kun Yun was only a sacred king right now, so the amount of divine power he could use was limited. Therefore, he wouldn't use his divine power unless it was absolutely necessary. Sky Ferocious Slash. Demigod Ferocity slashed out another dark red blade. He was impatient to obtain the substandard God weapon in Kun Yun's hands. Right at this moment, a bronze shield with beast carvings on it appeared in Nan Gongxing's hand behind Kun Yun. Nan Gongxing circulated a wisp of the evil god's power and poured it into the golden pawn shield. One boom! In an instant, a primitive and barbaric roar came from the ancient bronze shield. A huge phantom of a beast's head condensed and shrouded the surroundings of the Kun Yun's platinum rune light shield. Boom! Demigod Ferocity's attack was weakened by Nan Gongxing's defensive substandard God weapon, and it was completely blocked by Kun Yun's substandard God weapon. There's even a substandard God weapon. Demigod Ferocity's heart shook. He was a demigod, but he only had a tattered substandard God weapon. On the other hand, a sacred king and a late-stage sacred lord each took out a defensive substandard God weapon. It was normal for two defensive substandard God weapons to block his attack. Even if you have substandard God weapons, you won't be able to escape today." Demigod Ferocity's expression was slightly insane. As long as he killed these people, he would be able to obtain 2 substandard god weapons. Substandard god weapons could only unleash their full power with divine power, and Kun Yun and Nan Gongsheng could only use a limited amount of divine power. They definitely couldn't use the power of the substandard god weapons endlessly. Therefore, even if these humans had substandard god weapons, they would only be able to struggle for a little longer. However, right at this moment, a sharp golden light that could pierce through the soul pierced through Demigod Ferocity's body and caused his soul to shake. "What?" Demigod Ferocity's expression paused for a moment as he looked at Zhao Feng, who was behind Nan Gongsheng and Kun Yun. Whoosh! A giant dark golden arrow pierced through everything and flew toward him, dragging a terrifying dark golden energy storm behind it. Kun Yun and Nan Gongsheng dodged the attack range of the substandard god's slaying arrow with Zhao Feng's warning. Boom! The substandard god's slaying arrow accurately landed on Demigod Ferocity's body, and a terrifying soul-type storm of god tribulation lightning started to spread. "Go!" Zhao Feng roared. He didn't think that the substandard god's slaying arrow would be able to do much damage to Demigod Ferocity. "Zhao Feng, I didn't think that you would have such a hidden card." Kun Yun smiled and said. One had to know that Zhao Feng was only at the early stages of the Mystic Light Realm, and the power of that arrow just now was enough to kill any late-stage Mystic Light Realm, or severely injure a Mystic Light Realm Sacred King. Therefore, this hidden card was a terrifying killing move for normal early-stage Mystic Light Realm Sacred Lords. Zhao Feng didn't say anything. He just used the lightning wings flying technique and picked up Nan Gongsheng and Zhao Yufei. In reality, Zhao Feng could have used the god's slaying arrow or the misty spatial world to escape Demigod Ferocity's pursuit. However, the god's slaying arrow was Zhao Feng's strongest hidden card, so Zhao Feng obviously wouldn't use it unless he absolutely had to. Using the misty spatial world would cause Zhao Feng to deviate from his current target. "We'll head directly to the head of the god corpse. There should be a large number of humans and non-humans gathered there. Demigod Ferocity won't dare to do anything to us then." Zhao Feng told Kun Yun his plan. Kun Yun could also feel that the energy in some areas of the god corpse was slowly disappearing, and the direction it was flowing towards was the head of the god corpse. However, there was still a long distance between here and the demigod's head. "If we meet any powerful human demigods along the way, we can ask them for help," Zhao Feng said. Although he wasn't related to the demigods of the Great Gone Lord dynasty, they were both humans. They obviously wouldn't just watch as Zhao Feng and company were chased by a non-human demigod. A faint golden ripple spread through Zhao Feng's left eye as it scanned across the crystal walls. Now that the energy within the crystal walls had weakened, Zhao Feng could see through more of them. However, even then, Zhao Feng still hadn't found any powerful human demigods. He did find a few human groups, but none of them had the guts to help Zhao Feng block the non-human demigods. On the other hand, the path that Zhao Feng chose was also to avoid the non-human experts. One boom! At this moment, a pressure that felt like the power of the heavens appeared behind them once more, and it quickly closed in on Zhao Feng and company. At the same time, somewhere in the god corpse, a layer of black light flashed across the dim eyes of an elder in gray, and a shocking surge of eye bloodline power surged within it. There were several dozen black-robed people next to him. All of them had powerful auras, and they were all mystic light realm experts. 2 of them were even sacred kings. There was a giant blood crystal Yao spirit in front of the several dozen black-robed people. Its body was covered in lines of blood, and it glowed with a reddish-gold light. In the hand of the blood crystal demon spirit, there was a golden-white pearl emitting a dazzling radiance. Within the pearl, there were mysterious and profound golden runes. "You think you can obtain this substandard god weapon with just you?" The golden-white pearl in the blood crystal Yao spirit's hand instantly released a beam of golden-white light that swept toward the group of black-robed people. In an instant, all the black-robed people were shattered by this beam of golden-white light. However, the next instant, the shattered black-robed people slowly reformed in the air, The elder in gray's left eye suddenly twitched as if he sensed something. Zhao Feng? Don't die too early! The elder in gray smiled and looked at the giant blood crystal Yao spirit in front of him. Within the god corpse, there was a crystal red lake in a crystal cave outside the head of the god corpse. A demonic fish monster made of crystal red water flowed within the lake. Die, demonic fish! There were 5 figures with cold expressions and terrifying auras around the demonic fish. Boom! Pun! The 5 demonic Tao experts surrounded the demonic fish, constantly launching terrifying demonic Tao attacks of monstrous power. Roar! The translucent red demonic fish emitted a sorrowful and indignant cry. A heart-shaking soul domain fluctuation spread out, causing the souls of the surrounding demonic path powerhouses to shiver. Move aside! At this moment, an illusory old man shrouded in monstrous demonic flames said coldly behind the 5. Grand Elder! Elder Dark Ocean! The 5 demonic Tao experts immediately retreated. 9 Darkness Demonic Light! Demigod Dark Ocean snickered coldly as he circulated a surge of pitch-black divine power and thrust out his palm. A massive, jet-black beam of light containing a terrifying demonic might pierced through space, ignoring everything as it descended before the demonic fish and pierced through it. The hearts of the 5 demonic Tao experts went cold as they watched the blood crystal Yao fish sink to the bottom of the lake. They then looked at Demigod Dark Ocean with respect. Let's head to the head of the god corpse. Demigod Dark Ocean's eyes flashed with a cold light. It's a pity that we didn't see Zhao Feng. I hope that he can make it to the head of the god corpse alive. Demigod Dark Ocean revealed a cold smile. Chapter 1094. In a certain part of the god corpse, Zhao Feng, Kun Yun, and company were quickly flying through the crystal pathway. The terrifying pressure from demigod ferocity crushed toward them. Zhao Feng, he's catching up! Kun Yun asked in a questioning tone. Even though Kun Yun and Nan Gongxing both had substandard god weapons that could block demigod ferocity's attacks, they couldn't use much divine power, so it wasn't a long-term plan. Furthermore, there was no point in just defending. As long as demigod ferocity didn't let go, he would be able to slowly exhaust them to death. Lao Feng's expression became grim. If this continued, he would have to use the god-slaying arrow in the end, but even then, he would only be able to severely injure demigod ferocity. That human group! Xiao Feng's gaze passed through several dozen crystal walls and found a group to the right. Logically speaking, Zhao Feng didn't have any relationship with any sacred king in the Great Gonlord dynasty, and normal sacred king groups wouldn't dare to help Zhao Feng block the non-human demigod. However, the leader of this group was the Grand Elder of Black Screen Corner, Sacred King Dark Screen. Zhao Feng felt that it was very likely that Sacred King Dark Screen would help him. Sacred King Dark Screen was on the same level as Sacred King Feather Spirit. He was one of the stronger sacred kings. Let's go! Zhao Feng led Nan Gongxing and Zhao Yufei in a slightly different direction. Grand Elder, the super forces of both Lord dynasties have gathered at the head of the god corpse. It'll be very difficult for us to get a share, an old man from the Black Screen Corner team said. Nothing is absolute. Sacred King Dark Screen, who was leading the group of 5, said with a decisive gaze. A portion of the energy in the god corpse was gathering toward the head of the god corpse. There must be some secret behind this, and it would be Sacred King Dark Screen's fault if Black Screen Corner missed the fortune there. Furthermore, Black Screen Corner was a neutral force and hadn't offended any forces. It would be very easy for them to team up with other strong forces. Right at this moment, Sacred King Dark Screen suddenly sensed something and turned around. Zhao Feng? Sacred King Dark Screen's divine sense passed through several crystal walls and saw Zhao Feng's figure. Friend Zhao, are you planning to go to the skull area of the god corpse? Sacred King Dark Screen asked playfully. He was very surprised that Zhao Feng was able to survive until now after entering the god corpse. But now, Zhao Feng still wanted to explore the head of the god corpse. He was really reckless. Kun Yun! Sacred King Dark Screen's expression froze as he looked at the golden figure behind Zhao Feng. Black Screen Corner mainly dealt with assassinations and intelligence gathering. Naturally, they knew Kun Yun's background and details like the back of their hands. Moreover, according to Black Screen Corner's intelligence, it was speculated that Zhao Feng and Kun Yun were closely related. Unexpectedly, Zhao Feng and Kun Yun were working together in the God's Corpse. "Senior Yu Mu, do me a favor!" Zhao Feng shouted before he arrived. "If it's within my capabilities, this old man will naturally not shirk." Sacred King Dark Screen stroked his beard. No matter what, Zhao Feng had given him an extremely precious purifying blood sacred spirit pill back then, and Kun Yun was also present in Zhao Feng's group. This meant that the overall strength of Zhao Feng's group was on par with his group, so they could work together. Sacred King Dark Screen's group felt a terrifying pressure that could destroy heaven and earth slowly descend upon them the moment Sacred King Dark Screen finished speaking. "Senior Yu Mu, help us deal with the non-human demigods." At this moment, Zhao Feng arrived next to Sacred King Dark Screen and finished speaking. A loud explosion sounded, and demigod ferocity appeared in front of everyone. His mountainous aura made it hard for all the experts present to breathe. The weaker Sacred Lords and Sacred King Dark Screen's group couldn't even stand straight. "Demigod ferocity of the non-humans!" a Sacred Lord from Black Screen Corner exclaimed as he fell to the ground. Even Sacred King Dark Screen was dazed. He stood there in shock. He was obviously shocked that Zhao Feng and company were still able to escape alive after being chased by a demigod. Even if Kun Yun was in Zhao Feng's group, it was impossible for them to stop a legendary demigod. "Hee, and I thought that you found some amazing helpers, but it's just a bunch of ants." Demigod Ferocity glanced at the group from Black Screen Corner with disdain. The Sacred Lords in front of him weren't even able to block Demigod Ferocity's magnificent intent. Only Sacred King Dark Screen was worthy of his attention. Sacred King Dark Screen's expression froze when he heard that, and he said with a deep gaze, "What methods do you have?" The fact that Zhao Feng and company were able to escape all the way here while being chased by a demigod meant that Zhao Feng and company had a method that could stop this non-human demigod. Furthermore, Kun Yun was in Zhao Feng's group. Kun Yun was a demigod that had revived and had recovered to the level of a sacred king, but his true strength was definitely extremely strong. Sacred King Dark Screen also wanted to fight against a demigod. "Of course I have a method!" Zhao Feng smiled faintly and took out 4 black array flags. 9 Darkness Palaces, Evil Death in Spirit Array! Sacred King Dark Screen was very knowledgeable and immediately recognized the origin of the array flags in Zhao Feng's hand. Shua! 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 Zhao Feng threw out 3 black flags and gave them to Sacred King Dark Screen, Nan Gongxing, and Zhao Yufei. This Evil Death in Spirit Array was the array that Sacred Lords of 9 Darkness Palace had set up to kill Zhao Feng. But the 4 experts that tried to kill Zhao Feng were all slain by Zhao Feng, so this array was obviously in Zhao Feng's hands. "All of you, retreat!" Sacred King Dark Screen immediately said to the other members of Black Screen Corner. Normal Sacred Lords were useless in front of a demigod. Whoosh! 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 The other members of Black Screen Corner immediately retreated several miles after hearing what the Grand Elder said. Zhao Feng and company then circulated their mystic light's sacred power and activated the array flags. The 4 black array flags stood in the air, and each of them burned with the power of the Ghost Tao. They gave off a ghostly wail that made one's hairs stand on end. In an instant, the 4 array flags flashed with a black light and expanded dramatically. They smashed into the crystal wall like 4 pillars. When everything within several miles was covered by a black and blood-colored light. A barrier of black flames formed around Zhao Feng, Sacred King Dark Screen, and company. "Kun Yun, you stalled the demigod. We'll support you," Zhao Feng immediately said. The only ones in the group that could fight against demigod ferocity were Kun Yun and Sacred King Dark Screen. In comparison, Kun Yun was slightly stronger. "Sure! Kun Yun immediately agreed. He didn't expect Zhao Feng to have such a profound array. The power of this array could gather the power of Zhao Feng and company, and it could easily kill normal sacred kings. With such a terrifying array in Kun Yun, they might be able to fight against demigod ferocity head-on. Senior Dark Screen, you'll be the main array of the evil Dathine Spirit Array. Zhao Feng then said to Sacred King Dark Screen. The evil Dathine Spirit Array was an array of the demonic Tao, so Sacred King Dark Screen would be able to unleash more of the array's power. Activate the offensive killing array, Zhao Feng straightforwardly said. As long as one merged their consciousness into the array flags, they would know how to activate it. The four of them circulated a special technique and slammed their palms onto the array flags burning with black flames. Whoosh! 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 Countless ghosts instantly appeared in the dimension of hell. They had gruesome expressions, and they reached out with ghastly white claws. These ghosts slowly fused together, forming a huge skeletal ghost that enveloped the entire formation. You want to stop me with such a tattered array? Demigod Ferocity had a disdainful expression as he circulated his power and slashed out a giant dark red wavy blade. Sky Sealing Palm! Kun Yun immediately took action and weakened Demigod Ferocity's attack. The four of them then circulated their mystic light sacred power in a frenzy, and a ghostly aura surged around the array. The giant skeleton reached out with its ghastly white claws and blocked the dark red wavy blade. One boom! The entire array started to shake as all the power within the array surged into the sky. In the end, the four of them were still able to block Demigod Ferocity's attack. Although Zhao Feng, Kun Yun, and company had been able to block Demigod Ferocity's attack last time, they had used the power of substandard god weapons. The evil Dathine Spirit Array is famous for trapping and killing, but it can also be used as an offensive array. The person holding the array flags will be protected by the power of the entire array. Sacred King Darkscreen had heard about 9 Darkness Palaces array a long time ago. This array won't be effective if we're missing one person. Demigod Ferocity had an angry expression when he saw that his attack was blocked. Sky Ferocity Slash! This time, Demigod Ferocity didn't attack the entire array. Instead, he attacked the person holding the array flags. Yufei! Zhao Feng guessed who Demigod Ferocity was going to attack before he even attacked. One boom! Boom! A giant dark red wavy blade slashed toward Zhao Yufei with a dominating aura that seemed to be able to shatter everything. Even though Zhao Yufei had the bloodline of the spiritual race and her defense was shocking, a demigod's attack contained divine power. Even the body of a spiritual race member could be completely destroyed. Nangongxing, lend me the golden pond shield, Zhao Feng straightforwardly said. Nangongxing hesitated for a moment before handing the golden pond shield over to Zhao Feng. Whoosh! Zhao Feng waved his left arm, and Sacred Lord myriad forms appeared where Zhao Feng was and controlled the array. Zhao Feng took the golden pond shield and circulated his wings to the maximum as he rushed next to Zhao Yufei and activated the golden pond shield. When a giant snarling beast head suddenly appeared in the sky. At the same time, the ghostly skeleton formed by the evil Dathine Spirit Array extended its claws and blocked Demigod Ferocity's attack with the power of the substandard god weapon in Zhao Feng's hand. Sky Shaking Fist! Kun Yun used this chance to activate his physical body bloodline and merge a wisp of divine power into his fists before punching out. Balls of golden fists radiated an intent that could shake heaven and earth as they charged toward Demigod Ferocity. Boom! Pun! Using the substandard god weapon and the power of the evil Dathine Spirit Array, Zhao Feng managed to block Demigod Ferocity's attack. Bam! Zhao Feng spat out a mouthful of blood as pain spread through his body. Without divine power, Zhao Feng couldn't unleash the true power of the substandard god weapon. On the other side, Demigod Ferocity was hit by Kun Yun's attack and was pushed back several dozen steps before crashing into the crystal wall behind him. Although Kun Yun was only a sacred king, his intent was profound, and he could still injure Demigod Ferocity with his divine power. Brother Feng! Zhao Yufei's eyes became misty as she started to cry. I'm fine. Zhao Feng immediately circulated the water of wind lightning and wood of wind lightning within his body and started to heal. Good, I managed to injure that old undying bastard. Kun Yun felt smug. This was the first time that demigod ferocity had been injured by his attacks since he started chasing after him. On the other side, Sacred King Dark Screen had a faint smile on his face. Fighting against a demigod and injuring a demigod could be considered his best result so far. The eyes of the other sacred lords of Black Screen Corner bulged as they took in cold breaths. In their hearts, demigods were the legends of the continent zone. They were invincible existences. At this moment, their Grand Elder, Sacred King Dark Screen, was able to fight back against a non-human demigod with Zhao Feng and even injure a demigod. How unbelievable was that? Chapter 1095. I'm going to kill all of you! Demigod Ferocity's enraged voice sounded from behind. Boom! Demigod Ferocity's body released a dark yellow barrier of light. The power of the little world projection caused heaven and earth to dim, and an extremely heavy pressure and restrictions descended upon the surroundings. Kun Yun immediately released the projection of his little world, and the power of a golden little world started to spread as it tried to block the intent of Demigod Ferocity's little world. When Zhao Feng had to activate his perfect blood Devil Sun bloodline and circulate his sacred lightning body at full power in order to barely block the terrifying power of the little world projection. On the other hand, Zhao Yufei, Nan Gongxing, Sacred Lord Myriad Forms, and the others with weaker bodies within the Evil Death Yin Spirit Array had the protection of the Evil Death Yin Spirit Array, so they weren't affected much. Go to hell! Demigod Ferocity's enraged eyes glared at Zhao Feng. Only now did he realize that Zhao Feng was the most important person in the group. Zhao Feng had been the one giving the orders on the way here. Sky Ferocious Slash! This time, Demigod Ferocity's attack was even more terrifying with the amplification of his little world. When the dark red wavy blade that seemed to be able to shatter everything crushed toward Zhao Feng with unparalleled pressure. Kun Yun's body shook when he saw this terrifying attack. Sky ceiling 18 palms! The child demigod activated his bloodline and soul power as he thrust out more than a dozen golden palms. Hoo-hoo-hoo waves of profound golden palms twisted as they attacked heaven and earth around the demigod ferociously. The power of the dark red wavy blade was weakened, and its speed slowed down for an instant. Brother Feng! Zhao Yufei called out urgently. Even Zhao Feng, who had a substandard god weapon, wouldn't be able to block Demigod Ferocity's terrifying attack. Sacred King Dark Screen and Nan Gongxing's hearts tightened. However, at this moment, Zhao Feng's words sounded in everyone's minds. Attack Demigod Ferocity with all your strength. Find the right time and prepare. What? The four people in charge of the formation, including Kun Yun, were shocked and in disbelief. Demigod Ferocity's attack was about to reach Zhao Feng, but Zhao Feng told them to attack Demigod Ferocity instead. Could it be that Zhao Feng had a way to block Demigod Ferocity's attack? Facing Demigod Ferocity's attack, Zhao Feng raised his gold-pawn shield once again. Buzz! A blood-colored crystal bead appeared in Zhao Feng's hand. A blood-gold divine light surged out from it and poured into the gold-pawn shield. This blood-colored crystal bead was the blood god crystal Zhao Feng had obtained from the blood-colored pond when he first entered the god corpse. Only now did Zhao Feng remember that although he had no divine power in his body, he could borrow divine power from the outside world. Bzzz. In a split second, a primitive and barbaric roar came from the ancient bronze shield. A gigantic red beast head condensed and enveloped Zhao Feng. This supreme aura that could shake heaven and earth was the aura of divine power. How is this possible? Even this brat has divine power? Demigod Ferocity was stunned and felt disbelief. Kun Yun had divine power because he was a reincarnated demigod, and Nan Gongxing had it because he had inherited the power of the evil god. While demigod Ferocity was stunned, Sacred King Dark Screen controlled the evil Death in Spirit Array and controlled the gigantic skeletons in the air to attack demigod Ferocity. Nangongxing gripped the Black Array flag and poured in a wisp of the power of the evil god without hesitation. A wicked blood-colored pattern instantly appeared on the surface of the gigantic skeletons. At the same time, demigod Kun Yun was extremely excited. He activated his bloodline and body, merged his intent, and swung his fists. Qiankun Fist! Kun Yun used the sure kill technique of the heaven-sweeping fist and struck out with countless fiery and dazzling golden fist lights. These golden fists seemed to merge into one, and their momentum shook heaven and earth as they landed on demigod Ferocity's location. On the other side, the gigantic dark red wavy blade pierced through the red beast heads around Zhao Feng as if it was about to slice them apart. So strong! Zhao Feng already knew that he wouldn't be able to block demigod Ferocity's dominating attack even if he circulated his divine power. Earth Lightning Sacred Armor, Sacred Lightning Protection. Zhao Feng immediately circulated his Sacred Lightning Body and Wind Lightning technique to use two defensive techniques. The Earth Lightning Sacred Armor was the corresponding defensive technique from the 9th level of the Earth of Wind Lightning. When the dark yellow sacred power of Wind Lightning surged around Zhao Feng's body and instantly formed a crystalline armor surrounded by Wind Lightning. There was also an invisible layer of gravity around the armor. At the same time, Zhao Feng merged the Earth of Wind Lightning with his physical sacred power and formed a golden-white barrier of Wind Lightning around him. Crack! The red wavy blade sliced through the golden pawn shield's defense and landed on Zhao Feng's two defensive techniques. Boom! Pun! Zhao Feng's body was sent flying several miles and smashed into the crystal wall. At the same time, the evil Death in Spirit Array and Kun Yun's full power attack landed on demigod Ferocity. Get ready! Sacred King Dark Screen roared. Nangongxing, Zhao Yufei, and Sacred Lord Myriad Forms nodded their heads. When a destructive sense of danger instantly appeared above the evil Death in Spirit Array. The black skeleton above the array started to furiously absorb the power of the four and started to twist and expand. Explode! The four of them threw the array flags in their hands toward demigod Ferocity. The entire array covered demigod Ferocity, and the giant skeleton leaped toward demigod Ferocity and exploded. At this moment, Nangongxing, Kun Yun, and company had already retreated. Boom! A destructive black shockwave mixed with all kinds of terrifying energy swept out. Arg! Demigod Ferocity's screams sounded in everyone's ears. It's not over yet! In the distance, Zhao Feng, who was bathed in blood, pulled his bow. When destructive power of God Tribulation lightning surged into Zhao Feng's lightning soul body. At the same time, Zhao Feng circulated the bloodline divine power within the blood god crystal in his hand. Whoosh! A huge scarlet gold arrow pierced through everything, dragging a terrifying scarlet gold energy storm behind it as it charged toward the center of the explosion. Pun! A terrifying storm of metal and lightning elements, accompanied by a divine aura, once again exploded. Run! Everyone started to run after shooting out the substandard god's slaying arrows. Myriad Forms World of Wind Lightning! Sacred Lord Myriad Forms immediately changed the elements of heaven and earth. Zhao Feng and Sacred Lord Myriad Forms controlled the intent of Wind Lightning and led Nangongxing, Zhao Yufei, and the other Sacred Lords of Black Screen Corner to retreat. Sacred King Dark Screen and Kun Yun were extremely fast. They were even faster than the severely injured Zhao Feng. As long as they ran a certain distance away, it wouldn't be easy for demigod Ferocity to find them in the god corpse. That old undying will have a good time now. Kun Yun had a smug smile as he looked at Zhao Feng with a solemn expression. The reason why they were able to severely injure demigod Ferocity and escape was all because of Zhao Feng's hidden cards and plans. As expected of the attack of a demigod, Zhao Feng realized that his injuries were recovering extremely slowly even when he used the Wood of Wind Lightning. Whoosh! A bottle of multicolored honey appeared in Zhao Feng's hand. Whoosh! Whoosh! Zhao Feng immediately drank the bottle of 100 Origins sacred honey. A holy energy that could nourish all things instantly began to spread through Zhao Feng's body, spreading to every inch of his body and finally seeping into his soul. When Zhao Feng circulated the wood of wind lightning, and the recovery speed of his injuries instantly sped up. Zhao Feng opened his eyes and realized that everyone was looking at Zhao Feng in shock. Senior Zhao, was that 100 Origins sacred honey just now? A sacred lord from Black Screen Corner swallowed his saliva. One had to know that the 100 Origins sacred honey was a treasure that could increase one's chances of breaking through to the mystic light sacred realm. Apart from that, the 100 Origins sacred honey could also increase the power of a sacred lord's state of existence, soul, and mystic light's sacred power. However, at this moment, Zhao Feng was using such a precious treasure to recover. Senior Zhao's performance just now is admirable, another sacred lord from Black Screen Corner said. They originally hated Zhao Feng for dragging them down with him. However, now that Zhao Feng had managed to escape and severely injure a non-human demigod, their attitude toward Zhao Feng instantly changed. Within a certain cave in the God Corpse, Zhao Feng and Sacred King Dark Screen's group stopped for a while. After going through a big battle, almost everyone was exhausted. Within the misty spatial world, Zhao Feng circulated the soul recovery divine technique and the wood of wind lightning to recover from the injuries on his body and soul. A yellow fruit surrounded by crystal walls then appeared in Zhao Feng's hand. This was the fruit that the little thieving cat had helped Zhao Feng obtain from within the crystal. "Lend me your weapon," Zhao Feng said to the resting little thieving cat. The crystal walls on the fruit were very tough, so Zhao Feng wasn't able to destroy it. However, in reality, Zhao Feng wanted to see the short black blade that the little thieving cat had obtained. Meow meow. The little thieving cat was very smart, and obviously understood what Zhao Feng wanted, but it still generously gave the short black blade to Zhao Feng. Zhao Feng carefully inspected this ordinary-looking blade that didn't have any aura. When Zhao Feng poured his mystic light sacred power into it, but there was no reaction from the short black blade. Meow meow. The little thieving cat jumped onto Zhao Feng's shoulder and started to gesture around. "I can't use a divine weapon?" Zhao Feng's expression changed dramatically. If it wasn't for the fact that he had seen the little thieving cat easily cut through the extremely tough crystal walls, Zhao Feng wouldn't have believed the little thieving cat's words. The highest level of divine weapon that Zhao Feng had ever seen was the tattered ancient god weapon that appeared in the ancient god's mysterious palace. However, the black and ordinary-looking short blade in Zhao Feng's hand was a legendary divine weapon. One had to know that there hadn't been a single true divine weapon in the entire continent zone. Ding! Ding! Zhao Feng picked up the short black blade and scraped the surface of the yellow fruit a few times. A layer of crystal instantly fell off. "I didn't even use this divine weapon, it's just using its own power to have such an effect." Zhao Feng was once again sure that this short black blade was a divine weapon. "I'll leave it to you. Scrape off all the crystals on the surface of the fruit." Zhao Feng rolled his eyes at the little thieving cat and threw the fruit and short black blade to the little thieving cat. Zhao Feng was originally very happy that the little thieving cat had helped him obtain a vine fruit, but only now did he realize that the little thieving cat had obtained a divine weapon for itself. No matter how valuable Zhao Feng's fruit was, it couldn't compare to a legendary divine weapon. Meow meow. The little thieving cat gave a fawning smile as it walked toward Zhao Feng, trying to suck up to Zhao Feng. The little thieving cat put its hand into its mouth and took out 2 vine fruits. Zhao Feng's expression changed. He immediately picked up the 2 fruits and found that they were indeed from the vine. Zhao Feng stared at the little thieving cat's stomach. He really wanted to dissect the little thieving cat and see if there were any treasures inside. Meow meow. The little thieving cat seemed to see through Zhao Feng's thoughts and immediately explained that these were the 2 fruits it had casually obtained when it escaped. There were only 2. Chapter 1096. Right now, Zhao Feng had 3 fruits. They were yellow, blue, and gold. The intent within these fruits was extremely attractive to demigods, let alone Zhao Feng, who was only at the early stages of the mystic light realm. Furthermore, there was a surge of pure divine power within these fruits that surpassed the divine power that a demigod could control. From the intense fight between demigod withered breath and demigod arcane void, one could see how precious these fruits were. It was because of this that Zhao Feng probably wouldn't be able to absorb these fruits right now. Thinking back, normal sacred lords would lose their consciousness if they were careless when they sensed the intent near the vines. If Zhao Feng ate a fruit, it would be the same as committing suicide. In the end, Zhao Feng gave the 3 fruits to the little thieving cat and had it dig a small hole in each fruit's crystal surface. Shwa! A blood-colored crystal pearl appeared in Zhao Feng's hand. It was the blood god crystal. If it wasn't for the divine power within this blood god crystal, Zhao Feng wouldn't have been able to block demigod ferocity's attack at all. However, in reality, Zhao Feng still had a god crystal in his little world of illusions. However, Zhao Feng couldn't even block demigod ferocity's attack with the golden pond shield using the unique bloodline power within the blood god crystal, let alone the divine power within normal god crystals. Although god crystals were the crystallization of a true god's power, they contained a large amount of heaven-earth yuan qi and weren't pure divine power. Furthermore, Zhao Feng was only able to use the divine power within. He wasn't able to condense divine power or unleash the true power of divine power. The reason Nen Gongshun could use divine power was because of the evil god mental thought body's guidance and cooperation. On the other hand, Kun Yun had demigod intent and the memories from his previous life. AI. Zhao Feng sighed. Zhao Feng was originally planning to absorb the divine power within the blood god crystal and use it for himself, but from the looks of it, it wasn't that easy to use divine power. Moreover, this blood god crystal contained more of the power of bloodline, and the value of the power of bloodline wasn't any less than the divine energy contained within it. Perhaps I can use the blood god crystal in this way. Zhao Feng's eyes suddenly lit up. Apparently, he had thought of a good idea. I can use the bloodline power in the blood god crystal to create a second clone, Zhao Feng said in surprise. The body of Zhao Feng's first avatar was made from the spirit flesh snow jade lotus root. Its realm was relatively low, so Zhao Wan spent a lot of time cultivating it. With Zhao Feng's current vision, the spiritual flesh snow jade lotus no longer had its original value. Now that Zhao Feng had completed the second level of the soul-splitting technique, and Zhao Feng could be said to have successfully obtained the eyes of myriad nature, he had to consider the body of his second soul avatar. Zhao Feng waved his hand, and a stream of blood-red liquid flew toward Zhao Feng from the misty spatial world. Within the huge amount of blood, there was a blood crystal demon spirit that had yet to fully mature. According to Zhao Feng's senses, this blood crystal demon spirit already had the power of a king. If I use this incomplete blood crystal demon spirit to merge with this blood-red liquid and use the blood god crystal as the source of its power, I might be able to create a powerful and unique body. Zhao Feng's heart shook, and he became extremely excited. Furthermore, the blood-red liquid, the blood crystal demon spirit, and the blood god crystal all contained a wisp of the bloodline power of the god corpse. If he nurtured it well, Zhao Feng could even create the body of a descendant of the giant god race. One had to know that the giant god race was ranked 15th among the 10,000 ancient races. They were a terrifying race that was even higher than the spiritual race. Compared to them, Zhao Wang's body was countless times weaker. Of course, this was just Zhao Feng's sudden idea. Zhao Feng didn't know if it would succeed or not. I need to gather some information and confirm the body creation plan. Zhao Feng thought for a moment. He hadn't cultivated any cloning techniques yet, so he had no experience in this area. Therefore, he could only put this matter aside for now. Zhao Feng then started to consolidate and increase his cultivation. Whoosh! Whoosh! Several precious resources that he had obtained from the god corpse appeared in Zhao Feng's hand. Apart from the medicinal effects of these resources, they all contained powerful essence energy, blood energy, and the aura of the ancient god power. Zhao Feng circulated the 10,000 divine thoughts technique and split off several thoughts to cultivate the 5 elemental wind lightning technique and the golden Kun sacred lightning body. The medicinal effects of these blood crystal demon herbs were guided into the sacred power whirlpool by Zhao Feng to refine the earth of wind lightning sacred power. On the other hand, the essence energy, blood energy, and divine power within the herbs were guided into the sacred lightning body by Zhao Feng. This pure essence energy wasn't just beneficial to Zhao Feng's state of existence. It could also strengthen Zhao Feng's perfect blood devil sun bloodline to a certain degree. The earth of wind lightning will be able to break through to the late stages soon, and the golden Kun sacred lightning body's 6th level will be consolidated at the peak of the early stages. Zhao Feng had a joyful expression. After entering the God Corps, Zhao Feng had been fighting with the peak experts of both Lord dynasties. Zhao Feng had also used many precious resources from the God Corps, so both of Zhao Feng's techniques had been completely consolidated and improved. On top of that, Zhao Feng had absorbed a large amount of intent from the crystal red vine, and the battle with demigod ferocity allowed Zhao Feng to completely comprehend the laws of heaven and earth. Zhao Feng's soul intent had also become much stronger. However, the fight with demigod ferocity was too short, and the situation was dangerous and urgent. Zhao Feng didn't dare to use the demigod intent to train himself. Therefore, Zhao Feng put the scene of everyone fighting demigod ferocity into his left eye. Whoosh! The last part of Zhao Feng's consciousness entered the dimension of his left eye. Apart from the demigod heads, there were also some precious resources that Zhao Feng was duplicating within the dimension of his left eye. The scene within the dimension of his god eye suddenly changed into the scene of Zhao Feng and company fighting demigod ferocity. The scene within the dimension of his god eye was extremely realistic, and this ability became stronger as Zhao Feng's eye intent became stronger. Even Zhao Feng, who had a clear mind and strong intent, felt that everything around him was extremely realistic. Zhao Feng felt as if he had returned to the moment when he fought with demigod ferocity. However, this time, Zhao Feng didn't feel any pressure or danger. He could carefully observe how demigod ferocity used his power and intent. A demigod's control of power is extremely precise, and he can use all the power of the outside world into his own offensive intent. Zhao Feng kept on replaying every clash he had with demigod ferocity and observed the power that demigod ferocity's every action was unleashed. This was equivalent to a demigod personally demonstrating to Zhao Feng how to control the power within his body, how to use his soul intent, and how to control the power of intent. Zhao Feng's techniques and knowledge increased rapidly. One day later, within the misty spatial world, the earth of wind lightning around Zhao Feng's body suddenly shook and released a bright flash of lightning that radiated an invisible gravitational field. The earth of wind lightning has reached the late stages of the 9th level of the 5 elemental wind lightning technique. Zhao Feng's consciousness left the dimension of his god eye and returned to his body. My sacred lightning body has also completely consolidated at the early stages. I can break through to the late stages at any time. Zhao Feng felt the changes in his physical power. However, while Zhao Feng circulated the 10,000 divine thoughts technique, his main focus was on the dimension of his god eye and learning from demigod ferocity. Therefore, Zhao Feng's intent and combat techniques increased the most. With my current strength, I can fight against normal sacred kings even without using the tribulation lightning eye flame. Zhao Feng had a smile on his face. What Zhao Feng had obtained from the God Corps was already very shocking. Although there were countless dangers along the way, if Zhao Feng had remained in seclusion in the Hall of Gods, he wouldn't have been able to increase his strength so much even with the duplication ability of his left eye. However, time was tight, and Zhao Feng still had a lot of success in his hands. He didn't have the time to comprehend them. Whoosh! Zhao Feng's figure appeared in the outside world. Not far away, Zhao Yufei was protected by the power of a little world. However, Zhao Feng could still clearly feel the pure and powerful mystic light's sacred power. When the purple flame crystals around Zhao Yufei dissipated, and she was like a goddess of ice and jade that slowly appeared from a fairyland. "Brother Feng!" Zhao Yufei had a joyful expression. "You've broken through to the late stages of the mystic light realm." Zhao Feng could see Zhao Yufei's current cultivation with one glance. Zhao Yufei smiled and nodded her head. Zhao Feng took in a cold breath. The spiritual race bloodline that was ranked 19th among the 10,000 ancient races wasn't just for show. Even Zhao Feng couldn't catch up to such a terrifying cultivation speed. On the other side, Kun Yun, who had just become a sacred king not long ago, was slowly familiarizing himself with the power in his body and grasping some powerful techniques and secret techniques. Nan Gongxing's strength had also completely consolidated at the late stages of the mystic light realm, and a wicked and terrifying power radiated from him that made others' hearts shake and not dare to approach him. "Zhao Feng, it's all thanks to you that this old man's strength has improved yet again," Sacred King Darkscreen said with a smile. Sacred King Darkscreen benefited a lot from fighting a demigod expert, and it was of great help to him in breaking through to the heavenly divine realm. If it wasn't for Zhao Feng, Sacred King Darkscreen wouldn't have dared to fight a demigod head-on. "Then let's get ready to go. If we're late, there might be nothing left," Zhao Feng said with a smile. Everyone then ended their seclusion and headed toward the head of the god corpse. The closer they got, the stronger the aura of divine power in the crystal walls became. On the way, they met more and more groups, including non-humans. However, if there wasn't an obvious difference in strength between the two sides, the two lord dynasties wouldn't fight casually. After all, obtaining the fortune within the god corpse was the most important thing right now. The crystal passageway that everyone was walking through started to become wider and wider until it became a limitless passageway. All the other groups heading toward the head of the god corpse slowly gathered in this wide crystal passageway. "We're here!" A wicked light flashed through Nan Gongxing's eyes. Everyone slowed down as well. At the end of this limitless crystal passageway was an extremely wide crystal dimension filled with crystal ruins. The experts of both Lord dynasties were stationed in various places within the crystal ruins. Sacred King Earth Ghost exclaimed from the Earth Demon Cults group. Demigod Dark Ocean's eyes flashed as he prepared to speak. Boom! A terrifying willpower that could intimidate the heavens and the earth emanated from the extremely wide crystal passageway. The teams from the two dynasties nearby all stood where they were, unable to move at all. They looked at the godlike figure floating in the air in fear. Demigod ferocity? A faint smile appeared on Zhao Feng's face. "Old undying bastard, you're still behind us." Kun Yun laughed. Sacred King Darkscreen shook his head and led the members of Black Screen Corner into the wide dimension in front of them. "Go to hell." Demigod Ferocity was extremely enraged. His long hair blew in the air as he turned into a streak of dark yellow light that charged toward Zhao Feng and company. Zhao Feng, Nan Gongxing, and company immediately entered the dimension in front of them and flew to the right. Demigod Ferocity chased after them and instantly arrived in front of Zhao Feng and company as he prepared to attack. "Fuck off!" An enraged roar sounded from the cave where the Grand Imperial Hall was located. The entire dimension instantly became silent, and an invisible pressure made the hearts of normal sacred lords tense up. They didn't dare to breathe. At the same time, the voice turned into a heavy intent that charged toward Demigod Ferocity. The roar entered Demigod Ferocity's soul and pushed back his magnificent power intent. At the same time, surges of powerful auras appeared on the right side of the dimension in front of them. Demigod Ferocity's heart shook, and he finally stopped circulating his power. "Come back." On the left side, in a cave above the crystal cliff, a cold voice that could make one's mind go into a trance came out. Demigod Ferocity immediately flew toward the left side. That was the territory of the Dark Moon Lord dynasty. Zhao Feng and company were fine, so they smiled and continued forward. Since they dared to act so casually, they obviously believed that Demigod Ferocity wouldn't be able to kill them here. The forces of the two Lord dynasties each occupied one side of the dimension in front of them. If demigod ferocity charged into the territory of the Great Gone Lord dynasty and killed Zhao Feng and company, the Grand Imperial Hall would lose all face. How would they unify the Lord dynasty? However, at this moment, Zhao Feng and Sacred King Dark Screen's group became the focus of all the forces of the two Lord dynasties. What happened between them and demigod ferocity? Why does a non-human demigod hate them so much? An elder of a powerful 3-star power from the human side revealed a puzzled expression. Zhao Feng and company found a random corner and stopped. Sacred King Dark Screen's group stayed away from Xiao Feng's group and headed toward the inner part of the dimension. The two sides had discussed this on the way to the head of the God Corpse. Zhao Feng said that he wouldn't team up with other forces, so Sacred King Dark Screen's partnership with Zhao Feng and company had ended a long time ago. Zhao Feng, Sacred King Dark Screen, and Kun Yun gathered together and set up a barrier around them. Before anyone could say anything, an unwelcome guest appeared outside the barrier. Zhao Feng, the Grand Elder of 9 Darkness Palace, invites you over for a chat. Sacred Lord Demonic Abyss had a complicated expression as he looked at Zhao Feng. Sacred Lord Demonic Abyss, who had once attacked the Hall of Gods, thought that he would be able to take revenge the next time he met Zhao Feng after he recovered from his injuries. However, the current Zhao Feng made him feel fear. 9 Darkness Palace! Zhao Feng's heart dropped. He didn't expect the Grand Elder of 9 Darkness Palace to be so direct and prepared to attack as soon as they saw him. As long as he entered the territory of 9 Darkness Palace, Demigod Dark Ocean would be able to find an excuse to kill Zhao Feng. It was almost impossible for a non-human demigod to kill a human here, but it was extremely simple for a human demigod to kill a human sacred lord here. Right as Zhao Feng was thinking of a solution, an old and bright voice sounded from a cave on the cliff. The Grand Elder of the Tai family wants to meet with little friend Zhao Feng. Inside the cave, a white-robed old man with red hair revealed a kind smile. The Tai family! Zhao Feng's expression froze as he looked toward the source of the voice. The Tai family had sent Tai Hongling last time in an attempt to bring them together, but Zhao Feng ignored her and left by himself. Zhao Feng originally thought that the Tai family would be angry because of this, or at the very least, they wouldn't have a good attitude anymore. However, Zhao Feng was surprised that the Tai family would lend a helping hand at this critical moment. The person who said this was Tai Hongling's grandfather, Sacred King Scarlet's son, the Grand Elder of the Tai family. Demigod Dark Ocean's expression became grim. Come back! Demigod Dark Ocean messaged Sacred Lord Demonic Abyss. Since the Tai family had spoken, he wouldn't be a match for Zhao Feng even if he invited Zhao Feng over. Although 9 Darkness Palace and the Tai family were both peak 3-star powers, the Tai family had a better relationship with the Grand Imperial Hall. Little friend Zhao, let's go to the Tai family first. Sacred Lord Demonic Abyss smiled and pretended to be polite. Sacred Lord Demonic Abyss left after saying that. On the other hand, the forces and experts of both Lord dynasties started to pay attention to Zhao Feng. A normal Sacred Lord was able to attract the killing intent of a non-human demigod, and then cause 2 peak forces of the Great Gone Lord dynasty to fight over him. Who was this person? Of course, almost everyone from the Great Gone Lord dynasty knew who Zhao Feng was and knew the relationship between Zhao Feng, 9 Darkness Palace, and the Tai family. Zhao Feng immediately left the barrier and flew toward the territory of the Tai family. Although Zhao Feng didn't like the Tai family, the demigod of the Tai family was definitely here, and the Tai family had helped Zhao Feng this time, so Zhao Feng obviously had to give them face. When an opening appeared in the barrier at the entrance of the Tai family's cave, and Zhao Feng entered it. The sacred lords and sacred kings of the Tai family inspected Zhao Feng with fiery eyes within the cave. Thank you, Senior Scarlet's son, for helping me. Zhao Feng put his hands together and thanked him. Little friend Zhao Feng, don't be so polite. Come in. Tai Hongling's grandfather, Sacred King Scarlet's son, invited Zhao Feng in. In the middle of the cave sat an old man whose entire body flickered with an illusory red light. The area around him had become a forbidden zone. Demigod scarlet blood of the Tai family. Zhao Feng's heart shook. However, at this moment, the demigod of the Tai family had his eyes closed, as if he didn't care about the outside world. Little friend Zhao Feng, I didn't think that you already had a new lover. Sacred King's Scarlet Sun laughed. Zhao Feng was slightly awkward. He obviously knew that Sacred King's Scarlet Sun was talking about Zhao Yufei. I originally wanted to bring my daughter and little friend Zhao together, but it looks like my daughter isn't lucky enough. Sacred King's Scarlet Sun continued. Compared to Zhao Yufei, the number one female of the Tai family, Tai Hongling, was indeed much weaker. No, Lady Hongling is very charming. Zhao Feng also exchanged some pleasantries with Sacred King's Scarlet Sun. Sacred King's Scarlet Sun gave Zhao Feng a good impression. Although he was a sacred king, he didn't have any arrogance. He was kind and easy to get along with. Sacred King's Scarlet Sun then finally got to the point. Little friend Zhao, can't you help me and let the perfect blood devil sun bloodline return to the Tai family? Sacred King's Scarlet Sun sighed. Zhao Feng's expression became grim. He had thought about this problem many times. Once he joined the Tai family, he would be protected by the Tai family, and Nine Darkness Palace wouldn't cause trouble for him. However, in the end, Zhao Feng still refused to join the Tai family. Nine Darkness Palace wouldn't cause trouble for Zhao Feng, but Zhao Feng really wanted to cause trouble for Nine Darkness Palace. Zhao Feng thought of a solution after thinking about it for a long time. However, there were many uncontrollable factors. I'm willing to help Senior Scarlet Sun, Zhao Feng said calmly. Who the expressions of all the experts in the cave changed. An invisible, scorching aura filled the cave. Even the eyebrows of Demigod Scarlet Blood, who was sitting cross-legged in the center of the cave, twitched. Little friend Zhao is willing to join. Sacred King Scarlet Sun was slightly excited. He didn't expect Zhao Feng to agree so decisively, but Zhao Feng didn't seem like he was joking. I do have some special methods. If Senior doesn't mind, you can send a few disciples to the Hall of Gods. I will do my best to help them awaken the perfect blood devil sun bloodline, but I can't guarantee the final result. Zhao Feng interrupted Sacred King Scarlet Sun and told him the method he had thought of a long time ago. Chapter 1098. I do have some special methods. If you don't mind, you can send a few disciples to the Hall of Gods. I will do my best to help them awaken the true perfect blood devil sun bloodline. I can't guarantee the final result. Zhao Feng spoke of the method he had thought of a long time ago. Special method? The members of the Tai family murmured. The perfect blood devil sun bloodline in Zhao Feng's body had long surpassed the perfect blood devil sun bloodline that appeared in the Tai family. Due to this, the upper echelons of the Tai family guessed that Zhao Feng had a way to continuously improve his bloodline. Now that Zhao Feng had said it himself, they were even more convinced of their previous guesses. At the same time, some elders of the Tai family became greedy. If they could obtain this method, the Tai family would be able to raise a large number of perfect blood devil sun meridians. The upper echelons of the Tai family communicated with each other via voice transmission. Regarding Zhao Feng's plan, they generally held two attitudes. First, if he agreed to Zhao Feng's request, he would be able to maintain a good relationship with the Hall of Gods. All the forces in the Great Gan dynasty had witnessed the Hall of Gods' recent growth. It wouldn't be long before the Hall of Gods became one of the strongest forces in the dynasty. The second was to capture and kill Zhao Feng and obtain the special method that Zhao Feng had mentioned. As long as the Tai family's demigod Qi Shui took action, killing Zhao Feng would be a piece of cake. Once the Tai family could cultivate a perfect blood devil sun bloodline, it wouldn't take long for the Tai family to become the strongest 3-star force on the continent. They might even become a 4-star force. However, at this moment, Sacred King's Scarlet Sun spoke. If that's the case, then I'll have to trouble little friend Zhao. Sacred King's Scarlet Sun smiled. At first, he only wanted Zhao Feng to marry a woman from the Tai family and have a few children. That way, there was a high chance that the children would have the perfect Blood Devil Sun bloodline. But now, Zhao Feng admitted that he had a special way to help the Tai family disciples awaken the perfect Blood Devil Sun bloodline. Compared to the previous plan of the Tai family's higher-ups, Zhao Feng's plan was undoubtedly more beneficial to the Tai family. However, this benefit could still be expanded, and that was to obtain the special method from Zhao Feng. However, Sacred King Scarlet's son gave up on the idea in the end. Firstly, he didn't believe that there was any way to awaken such a powerful bloodline without limit. Second, Zhao Feng's growth had truly shocked him. When the two of them first met, Zhao Feng had only been at the Heavenly Emperor realm, but now he was already a small success Holy Lord. With Zhao Feng's talent and potential, it was not impossible for him to break through to the God realm. Third, the fact that Zhao Feng dared to say that he had a special method surprised Scarlet's son Saint King. Where did Zhao Feng get the confidence that the Tai family wouldn't do anything to him? Fourth, this was also what demigod Scarlet Blood was thinking. After hearing Sacred King Scarlet's son's words, the other experts of the Tai family could only give up on the idea of killing Zhao Feng. This was because Sacred King Scarlet's son must have discussed this with the Tai family's supreme elder, demigod Qi Shui. However, this matter can only be completed after I return to the Hall of Gods. Zhao Feng revealed a sly smile. The meaning behind Zhao Feng's words was extremely obvious. He wanted the Tai family to protect him unconditionally. If something happened to him, then the plan just then wouldn't be able to be carried out. Of course. Sacred King Scarlet's son understood what Zhao Feng meant. With the protection of the Tai family, 9 Darkness Palace wouldn't dare to do anything to Zhao Feng. Furthermore, Zhao Feng was with Kuan Yun, and he had a substandard god weapon like the Misty Spatial World. As long as he didn't purposefully put himself in danger, there shouldn't be any problems. Then this junior will be leaving first. Zhao Feng bowed faintly and left the cave. At this moment, demigod Qi Shui's voice sounded. After the trip to the God Corpse, I will try to break through to the heavenly divine realm. I might succeed or I might fail, so the Tai family shouldn't become enemies with other forces during this period of time. The upper echelon of the Tai family fell silent. If one succeeded in breaking through to the heavenly divine realm, they would enter the ancient desolate realm of gods. If they failed, they would die. This meant that the Tai family wouldn't have a demigod anymore, and the Hall of Gods was a force with a lot of potential. The Tai family would try their best to form a good relationship with them and not offend them. Zhao Feng left the Tai family's territory safely within the wide dimension. In a certain corner, Zhao Yufei's expression turned to one of joy. Brother Feng, the Tai family didn't do anything to you, right? Zhao Yufei asked in a concerned tone. They won't do anything to me, Zhao Feng said confidently. Now that Zhao Feng had the protection of the Tai family, he didn't need to worry too much about the demigods of 9 Darkness Palace. This meant that he could use the last god's slaying arrow to deal with other dangers. Zhao Feng then turned his eyes to the front of the vast crystal wall. At the end was a giant golden-white screen of light. This screen was formed from extremely pure high-level divine power, and its terrifying aura made no one from either Lord Dynasty dare to get too close. Furthermore, even the divine sense of a demigod wouldn't be able to pass through the golden-white screen of light. However, Zhao Feng felt that the power within the screen was gradually weakening. The people from both Lord Dynasties probably realized this as well, which was why they were stationed here. As long as the divine power of the golden-white screen of light completely disappeared, everyone would be able to enter. This should be the most important place. I wonder what's behind the golden-white screen of light. Zhao Feng was unable to calm down. There was no doubt that the fortune within the God Corpse was the biggest treasure that had ever appeared in the continent zone. Otherwise, the little thieving cat wouldn't have been able to obtain a true divine weapon. However, most people in the Lord Dynasty didn't have the little thieving cat's ability. They were unable to dig out the treasures in the God Corpse that were enough to make demigods go crazy. Even Zhao Feng only managed to obtain 3 fruits with the little thieving cat's help. When Zhao Feng couldn't help but circulate the power of his left eye, and a faint golden ripple spread across his golden eye. "Let's give it a try." Zhao Feng's vision passed through the golden-white screen of light with difficulty. At the same time, Zhao Feng's eye intent was quickly expended. Hu Zhao Feng's vision instantly became pitch black, as if day had suddenly turned into night. The difference made Zhao Feng's heart skip a beat. "Is this what's behind the screen of light?" Zhao Feng's heart tightened. Heaven and earth were pitch black. However, there was something extremely eye-catching in this pitch-black dimension that instantly attracted Zhao Feng's gaze. It was a platinum-colored path of light that was laid flat in the pitch-black world. It extended to an extremely far place and finally led to a huge, resplendent ball of light. The ball of light slowly rotated and released a dazzling halo that made one unable to shift their gaze away. "The true fortune should be in that ball of light, but it seems like there's only one path." Zhao Feng's eyebrows furrowed. The golden white path was very narrow and could only allow 4 people to pass through at the same time. However, all the peak experts of both Lord dynasties were gathered here. How could a path that could only allow 4 people to pass through at the same time be enough? Wouldn't that force both Lord dynasties to take action? If that was the case, the weakest sacred lords would be the ones to suffer, and they might not even be able to approach the ball of light. However, this was just Zhao Feng's guess. No one knew what would happen when the time came. "There's still some time until the last treasure opens. Let's work hard and increase our strength," Zhao Feng said to Nan Gongxing and Zhao Yufei. However, if it really was as Zhao Feng guessed and the 2 Lord dynasties fought for the same path, Zhao Feng would leave immediately and search for fortune elsewhere in the God Corps. Right at this moment, Zhao Feng felt the divine senses of many forces in both Lord dynasties scan over with complicated, shocked, and wary expressions. "Sacred King Samsara! It's the eyes of Samsara from one of the 8 great god eyes." Zhao Feng couldn't help but look toward the entrance of the passageway. "The inheritor of the eyes of Samsara!" Zhao Feng's expression turned to surprise. He didn't expect the owner of the eyes of Samsara to also come here. However, Zhao Feng didn't see Lu Qinin's figure. It made sense. With Lu Qinin's cultivation, she would still be in danger even with the protection of her master. Sacred King Samsara stood alone in the passageway, but the groups passing by all revealed wary expressions. No one dared to doubt his true strength. At the same time, Zhao Feng felt many angry and dissatisfied voices from both Lord dynasties. However, Zhao Feng understood after thinking about it. The eyes of Samsara could control the dead and make them fall into the samsara of death, never to be reborn. Those that were turned into samsara immortal bodies by Sacred King Samsara were obviously not normal people. They were definitely the top experts of both Lord dynasties, so Sacred King Samsara had unknowingly offended many forces. However, Sacred King Samsara's ability to use the samsara of life had also helped many superforces and experts. Adding on the fact that he was extremely low-key and had immeasurable battle power, Sacred King Samsara was able to survive in the continent zones safely even though he had offended so many forces. Sacred King Samsara slowly entered the wide dimension of crystal by himself. "Little friend Zhao Feng, we meet again." Sacred King Samsara slowly walked toward where Zhao Feng was. The forces and experts of both Lord dynasties were stunned once more. "Who is this brat? Why is everything related to him? I didn't expect Zhao Feng to know Sacred King Samsara. It looks like I underestimated him." Sacred King Scarlet's son had a grim expression. Sacred King Samsara also had the soul of the Tai family. "This brat is indeed not simple." Demigod Dark Ocean from 9 Darkness Palace had a grim expression. "Humph, everything in front of me will be destroyed." Golden light flashed through the non-human demigod Destruction's eyes as battle intent appeared. The expressions of Zhao Yufei and Nan Gongxing next to Zhao Feng changed slightly. The normal grey-robed elder made them feel an irresistible power, and they didn't want to interact with him. Wariness appeared in Kun Yun's eyes as well. "That's right, I didn't think that senior would come to such a lively place." Zhao Feng gave a faint smile. Zhao Feng immediately removed the barrier and let Sacred King Samsara in. I don't like lively places, but I like places with many experts. Sacred King Samsara had a friendly expression as his eyes scanned around. The expressions of the sacred lords and sacred kings within both lord dynasties changed dramatically, and they became cautious. Little friend Zhao Feng's improvement is godly. It's only been a few years, and you've improved so much. Sacred King Samsara sat down cross-legged as if he was going to stay here forever. Chapter 1099. Little friend Zhao Feng's improvement is godly. You've improved so much in just a few years. Sacred King Samsara sat down cross-legged as if he was going to stay here. However, from Zhao Feng's point of view, Sacred King Samsara was just going to sit here. With Sacred King Samsara's strength, he shouldn't be here to team up with Zhao Feng. Senior, you made it here alone. This kind of strength is truly amazing. Zhao Feng barely managed to exchange a few words with Sacred King Samsara. Sacred King Samsara had helped Zhao Feng many times before. Logically speaking, Zhao Feng should be very friendly towards such an expert. However, for some reason, Zhao Feng felt that he didn't like Sacred King Samsara. Could it be because of the Emperor of Death? Zhao Feng started to think. Perhaps it was because of the Emperor of Death, but Zhao Feng still didn't like Sacred King Samsara. Zhao Feng then chatted with Sacred King Samsara for a bit before they both started to cultivate. Zhao Feng split into many thoughts as he circulated the 10,000 divine thoughts technique. The first thought was used to cultivate the 5 elemental wind lightning technique. The earth of wind lightning had reached the late stages, and he needed to spend some effort to consolidate it. Only then would he be able to progress smoothly. The second thought was used to absorb the crystal blood resources from the god corpse and cultivate the golden Quinn sacred lightning body. Zhao Feng had already reached the early stages of this body strengthening technique and could break through to the late stages at any time. In order to be able to deal with the upcoming situation, Zhao Feng would obviously raise the 6th level of the sacred lightning body to the late stages. Zhao Feng had all the resources that these two techniques needed. Whether it was from the ancient dream realm or the god corpse, Zhao Feng could even duplicate what he needed with his left eye. However, at this moment, Zhao Feng didn't dare to use his Yuan Qi and I intent to duplicate things. He needed to ensure that he was in his best condition. The rest of Zhao Feng's thoughts entered the dimension of his left eye. The third thought was used to absorb the power of the thunder tribulation in the deity's tribulation head. The higher the tribulation lightning in the lightning soul body, the harder it would be to increase it. Therefore, Zhao Feng started to strengthen every single lightning tribulation mark in his thunder soul constitution, so that the original lightning tribulation mark could store more lightning tribulation power and display greater power. As the power of the tribulation lightning increased, the power of the tribulation lightning eye flame would naturally increase as well. As for the fourth thought, Zhao Feng used it to comprehend the battle with demigod ferocity. In the ancient dream realm, the scene around him changed again. It was as if Zhao Feng had really returned to the past. Zhao Feng focused all of his attention and started to replay the images in the dimension of his left eye. The more he understood, the more Zhao Feng realized that there were more techniques to be unearthed. There was no end to learning. Of course, Zhao Feng also had a lot of small thoughts doing other things, such as comprehending eye bloodline techniques, analyzing the 3rd level of the soul splitting technique, and observing the situation in the outside world. In the entire crystal space, almost all the experts were in a half-cultivation state. At this final moment, they were trying to improve their strength in order to obtain greater benefits. The golden white screen of divine power at the end of the dimension became dimmer and dimmer. The power of the entire God Corpse is weakening. Even the powerful divine power in this screen is disappearing. Where did all that power go? Maybe it needs energy to maintain the inheritance in the head. The divine power in the screen has weakened even more. If this continues, we'll be able to enter in just a few days. The powerhouses who were in a semi-cultivation state were constantly observing the situation in the outside world. 2 days later, a part of Zhao Feng's consciousness left the dimension of his left eye. Within the misty spatial world, 3 fruits covered in divine power appeared in front of Zhao Feng. The little thieving cat had dug out a small hole in each of the walls. The 3 fruits floated around Zhao Feng, and a desolate and ancient intent spread out from the small hole. They're the intents of earth, lightning, and metal. Although Zhao Feng hadn't cultivated the 5 elemental wind lightning technique to the metal of wind lightning yet, that didn't mean that Zhao Feng couldn't comprehend the intent of metal. If Zhao Feng's understanding of the intent of metal reached a certain level, then cultivating the metal of wind lightning would be much smoother. The 3 intents were like a giant mountain that locked down Zhao Feng's soul, and the power of the intents invaded his soul. Zhao Feng's consciousness seemed to have arrived in a desolate world made up of the elements of earth, lightning, and metal. The ground was covered in a thick layer of dark yellow dust, the air was filled with countless rays of golden light, and the sky was filled with lightning. In order to increase his comprehension of the intents, Zhao Feng opened his god's spiritual eye. Zhao Feng's mind instantly became extremely clear, and his reaction speed and ability to think quickly increased. The rate at which he comprehended the 3 intents kept on increasing. However, as more and more intents invaded Zhao Feng's soul, even if Zhao Feng opened his god's spiritual eye, he was unable to stay awake. This is the limit! Zhao Feng suddenly opened his eyes, moved the 3 fruits to the side, and sealed them away. My soul intent is far stronger than a sacred lord's. If I use these fruits to comprehend for a few more days, my soul intent will be able to reach the level of a sacred king. Zhao Feng revealed a joyful expression. The increase in his soul intent wasn't just because of the fortuitous encounters and the intents within the fruits. It was also because of Zhao Feng's mastery of the soul. The power within the divine power screen has weakened by more than 60% compared to before. Zhao Feng inspected the golden white screen of divine power with his left eye and immediately calculated. Zhao Feng then looked at the others. And Gongxing had obtained a black fruit, and at this moment, his soul intent was slowly catching up to his own cultivation. The aura radiating from his body was even more wicked and wicked. On the other side, Zhao Yufei was able to absorb the yuan qi and divine aura of heaven and earth just by sitting there. The aura radiating from her body was also becoming stronger and stronger. The rate at which the divine power in the golden white screen is flowing away is becoming faster. Kun Yun suddenly said. Zhao Feng looked at Kun Yun. Kun Yun had probably stolen something incredible from demigod ferocity, or else demigod ferocity wouldn't have chased after Kun Yun so relentlessly. At this moment, Zhao Feng realized that Kun Yun's body contained a strong surge of unique lightning. This was the first time Zhao Feng had felt something like this before. Zhao Feng then turned his gaze toward the golden white screen. It has indeed sped up again. Zhao Feng's tone was certain, and he was filled with anticipation and excitement. More and more experts couldn't help but stop cultivating. We'll be able to go in and see what's going on soon. There must be a peerless treasure sealed inside. There might even be a legendary divine weapon. There might even be a secret technique to become a high-tier god. At this moment, almost all the experts had stopped cultivating and stared at the golden white screen. The demigods could clearly feel how much divine power was left in the screen. At a certain moment, the screen became extremely dim, and what appeared in front of everyone was a dark and twisted screen of water. Demigod Dragon Emperor and the other experts of the Grand Imperial Hall flew out from the crystal cave on the right side of the cliff. On the other side, Demigod Dark Dragon from the Dark Capital Cult flew out and stared at Demigod Dragon Emperor with a wicked smile. The demigods of both Lord dynasties moved out at the same time, and their terrifying aura made the sacred lords and sacred kings behind them freeze in place and not dare to move. Little friend Zhao Feng, be careful. Sacred King Samsara said with a smile before flying off into the distance. Senior as well, Zhao Feng said politely. When all the demigods entered the dark ripples, the other sacred lords and sacred kings also started to move. Zhao Feng and company weren't very far in front, but they weren't too far behind either. Everyone be careful, Zhao Feng warned before entering the gloomy and distorted barrier of light. When the scene in front of them started to spin before slowly returning to normal. This is. Zhao Feng's expression changed dramatically as he looked at everything in front of him. Zhao Feng was currently standing on a path of light formed from divine power, and the pitch-black space around him was filled with many similar paths of light. At a certain moment, Sacred Lord Demonic Abyss figure appeared not far away from Zhao Feng. A path of light formed under his feet and extended to the bright ball of light in the center. Zhao Feng! Anger and unwillingness ignited in Sacred Lord Demonic Abyss when he saw Zhao Feng. However, Zhao Feng had a stunned expression and completely ignored Sacred Lord Demonic Abyss. How is this possible? Everyone has a path? Zhao Feng was still in shock. Before entering this place, Zhao Feng's gaze had pierced through this world. At that time, Zhao Feng saw a path of light. This meant that someone had already entered before the experts of both Lord dynasties had arrived, and there was no one in the path of light. There was no one on the path of light, so Zhao Feng didn't know if the person who came here had entered the ball of light or if they had died. How is this possible? The golden white screen of light outside is made of powerful divine power. Even normal true gods wouldn't be able to pass through it. Zhao Feng guessed, but he wasn't able to calm down for a long time. Let's not worry about this for now. Zhao Feng got rid of his suspicions. Since everyone had their own path, Zhao Feng didn't need to worry about enemies stopping him or chasing him. He also didn't need to worry about what would happen to Zhao Yufei or Nan Gongxing. How come there's no one on this path of divine power? Zhao Yufei revealed a surprised expression as she inspected the path of light below her. Inside the crystal wall, almost all the experts had entered the dark and distorted light screen. Suddenly, a black-armored man covered in pitch-black dragon scales rushed out of the huge passage. Are you sure there's no problem entering? The Black Destruction Serpent Dragon asked. After all, it had personally seen all the experts of both Lord dynasties enter, so the Black Destruction Serpent Dragon was slightly worried. There's no problem, a female in white said faintly from within the origin dimension of destruction within the Black Destruction Serpent Dragon's body. In front of her, there were many colorful light screens, and different scenes were playing out on them. Good! Excitement and cruelty flashed through the Black Destruction Serpent Dragon's eyes as it charged into the dark screen of light. The next instant, the Black Destruction Serpent Dragon appeared in the world of darkness where the experts of both Lord dynasties were gathered, and a path of light extended under its feet. Black Destruction Serpent Dragon! The expression of a non-human sacred lord next to the Black Destruction Serpent Dragon changed dramatically. Humph, you actually came as well! A non-human demigod even further away snickered coldly. I didn't expect the Black Destruction Serpent Dragon to be hiding in the dark this entire time. Demigod Withered Breath from Sky Suspension Palace had a grim expression. The Black Destruction Serpent Dragon was only a sacred king, but it was able to hide from the demigods of both Lord dynasties. Chapter 1100. The sudden appearance of the Black Destruction Serpent Dragon made the experts of both Lord dynasties look at each other with surprise and hatred. However, at this moment, no one dared to do anything rashly. Everyone was inspecting this unfamiliar environment. It was pitch black all around, and there was only a path of light under his feet. In the center of this pitch-black world, there was a spinning ball of light. The ball of light bloomed with a brilliant halo, making it impossible to see what was going on inside. The true fortune should be in the ball of light in the center. There must be something wrong with the path of light below us. All the experts of both Lord dynasties guessed and started to test it out. Whoosh! Zhao Feng took out a king-level winged wolf from the misty spatial world and placed it outside the path of light. The next instant, the winged wolf fell down and disappeared. What? Sacred Lord Demonic Abyss' heart shook when he saw what Zhao Feng just did. Sacred Lord Demonic Abyss thought that the beast that Zhao Feng threw out was completely dead. The hearts of the sacred lords and sacred kings around Zhao Feng dropped when they saw Zhao Feng's experiment. It's not dead? Zhao Feng paused for a moment. He had placed the dark heart seal on this king-level winged wolf, so he knew the situation of this winged wolf very well. The winged wolf didn't die after falling into the pitch-black dimension. Instead, it was teleported to a place outside the god corpse. This means that leaving this path of light is equivalent to failure, but there won't be any danger. I'll just be teleported away. Zhao Feng felt a bit more confident. At the very least, he could leave the path of light and be teleported away if he met any danger. At the same time, Zhao Feng sensed even more information from the winged wolf. The area outside the path of light was a no-fly zone. Even demigods would fall if they left the path of light. Therefore, the winged wolf, which was a flying beast, couldn't do anything outside the path of light and could only fall down. While Zhao Feng was probing the situation, some of the experts on the paths of light in the pitch-black dimension began to move. And at this moment, in the pitch-black space, a strange radiance flickered. Boom! 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 Countless golden white balls of light of various sizes came crashing down rapidly, filling the entire space. An invisible aura of divine power instantly pressed down, causing the experts on the path of light to tremble in fear. That's divine power! Zhao Feng was shocked. Even a demigod would be reduced to ashes if they were hit by that platinum ball of light. Go! Zhao Feng didn't want to fall behind the others, so he stepped forward. Zhao Feng instantly felt the mystic light sacred power within his sacred power whirlpool disappear through his legs. The mystic light sacred power in my body is fading. Zhao Feng was shocked again. Subsequently, Zhao Feng glanced at the other powerhouses on the paths of light. From their expressions, Zhao Feng could deduce that everyone's situation was the same. It seems like the test in this space is more difficult than I thought. Zhao Feng frowned slightly. The experts that entered this dimension and faced the test wouldn't be threatened by anyone else, and they could leave the path of light at any time. The danger could be said to be extremely low. However, the test in this dimension made everyone focus and try their best to face it. This was just the beginning, and everyone was already facing danger from above and below. There were balls of divine power descending from above, and if they were hit, they would die completely. On the other hand, the path of light below could continuously absorb the sacred power and divine power within everyone's body. Go! A pair of scarlet wings of lightning spread behind Zhao Feng's back as he flew on the path of light. In this situation, it was best to finish the path of light as soon as possible and reach the center. However, Zhao Feng only flew a few meters before he felt an invisible force slowly descend. There are still obstacles. Even Zhao Feng was slightly angry. There were just too many tests on this path of light. Luckily, Zhao Feng cultivated the Golden Kuan's sacred lightning body, so his defense was extremely strong. Furthermore, Zhao Feng's 5 elemental wind lightning technique had reached the 9th level, the Earth of Wind Lightning. He also had a certain level of comprehension towards gravity. When Zhao Feng circulated the Earth of Wind Lightning sacred power, and formed a domain of gravity around him to block the strong gravity in the path of light. Whoosh! Zhao Feng's speed was the same as usual as he flew forward. Zhao Feng suddenly stopped. The next instant, a ball of divine power quickly descended in front of him. Subsequently, this huge ball of divine power penetrated through the light path and continued to smash downwards. A non-human sacred lord was flying on the path of light below Zhao Feng. It was already too late when the sacred lord sensed the disturbance above him. Boom! The ball of divine power passed through the area where this sacred lord was and destroyed everything. What terrifying power! Zhao Feng's heart went cold. The late-stage mystic light realm non-human sacred lord wasn't able to fight back at all against the ball of divine power, and was completely destroyed. At the same time, Zhao Feng saw an early-stage sacred lord not far away escape from the path of light before being hit by the ball of divine power. He then quickly descended and was teleported away. Let's go! Zhao Feng circulated his mystic light sacred power, and instantly sped up. Zhao Feng's god's spiritual eye controlled the entire situation, and all the balls of divine power that entered his body were under his control. As Zhao Feng continued to fly, the invisible gravity around Zhao Feng kept on increasing. In order to not be affected by this gravity and fly even faster on the path of light, Zhao Feng circulated his gravity domain at full power to resist it. Zhao Feng's comprehension of the gravity domain became deeper, and his own gravity domain became stronger. How can that brat be so fast? Sacred Lord Demonic Abyss was stunned. At this moment, Zhao Feng was flying quickly on the path of light. He would occasionally pause for a moment to dodge the balls of divine power falling from above, and he had already left Sacred Lord Demonic Abyss far behind. How is this possible? The experts on the path of light around Zhao Feng were also stunned. Almost all the experts on the path of light could feel that the faster they flew, the harder the test would be. Therefore, many experts were extremely careful on the path of light to ensure their safety. It was fine as long as they could reach the ball of light in the center. Zhao Feng stopped for a moment after hearing the words of the experts nearby and inspected the people around him. There were 2 demigod experts within a certain range of Zhao Feng, demigod Withered Breath from Sky Suspension Palace and demigod Ferocity from the non-humans. However, the speed of these 2 demigods was only slightly faster than Zhao Feng. Could it be that everyone's test is decided according to their cultivation level? Zhao Feng suddenly understood. This meant that the gravity of a demigod on the path of light might be dozens of times stronger than what Zhao Feng had to face. This means that I have a greater advantage here. Zhao Feng was overjoyed. The test of the path of light seemed to choose experts of the same cultivation. Zhao Feng was only at the early stages of the mystic light realm, but he was unrivaled against those at the late stages of the mystic light realm, and could even fight against sacred kings. This was why Zhao Feng was able to fly on the path of light at an incredible speed. It disappeared? The gravity on Zhao Feng's body suddenly disappeared after flying for a short while. A powerful surge of power appeared on the path of light in front of Zhao Feng and turned into a storm of ice. Zhao Feng activated the ice water bloodline within his body and circulated the water of wind lightning sacred power as he charged into the bone-chilling storm. Boom! A surge of extreme coldness started to invade Zhao Feng's body and freeze his sacred power and intense. However, Zhao Feng's speed only slowed down a little. The path of light below was still sucking away the mystic light's sacred power within Zhao Feng's body. As Zhao Feng sped up, the amount of energy being sucked away became stronger. While facing these 2 types of interference, Zhao Feng also had to be wary of the balls of divine power falling from above. Zhao Feng soon left the other experts on the path of light far behind. At the same time, other experts also stood out on the paths of light in other directions. However, these experts weren't demigods or sacred kings. As everyone got closer to the mysterious ball of light in the center, they were slowly getting closer as well. Demigod Ferocity, who was speeding through the storm of ice not far away to Zhao Feng's right, suddenly looked at Zhao Feng behind him. Zhao Feng! Demigod Ferocity's face was filled with killing intent. However, at this moment, he was very close to Zhao Feng, so he couldn't attack Zhao Feng. Demigod Withered Breath from Sky Suspension Palace only paid a slight bit of attention to Zhao Feng before focusing all his attention on the path of light. If this continues, the situation won't be good. Zhao Feng's expression was grim. He was originally very far away from Demigod Ferocity. However, as they got closer to the ball of light, the distance between the paths of light started to shrink. Zhao Feng guessed that Demigod Ferocity would probably be next to Zhao Feng when he reached the end. The effect of the storm of ice disappeared after a while, and a layer of white mist appeared in front of the path of light. An illusion? Zhao Feng realized what the test was when he got close to the white mist. However, how could such a low-level illusion affect Zhao Feng? Zhao Feng rapidly traveled through the hazy white fog. As his speed increased, the strength of the illusion increased as well, but Zhao Feng continued to ignore it, completely unaffected as he traveled through the white fog. Zhao Feng soon caught up to Demigod Ferocity on the right. Damn it, this brat! Demigod Ferocity's expression was extremely ugly. He was a demigod, but an early-stage sacred lord had caught up to him. However, soul intent and illusions were indeed Demigod Ferocity's weaknesses. If I reach the end first, demigod ferocity won't be able to threaten me. Zhao Feng suddenly thought of a plan. As long as Zhao Feng entered the ball of light and found Kun Yun or the demigod of the Tai family, he wouldn't need to be scared of demigod ferocity anymore. Furthermore, the person who entered the ball of light first would have the advantage. Other sacred lords and sacred kings wouldn't even dare to think about a demigod reaching the end first. However, Zhao Feng had the ability. Him catching up to demigod ferocity was the best proof. Furthermore, Zhao Feng had to reach the end before demigod ferocity, or else demigod ferocity would kill him. Whoosh! In the illusion test, Zhao Feng's speed started to surpass demigod ferocities. As they continued to advance, the distance between the paths of light became smaller and smaller. Zhao Feng could see more experts from both Lord dynasties. Zhao Feng! The Black Destruction Serpent Dragon's eyes were deadly as it stared at Zhao Feng. The Black Destruction Serpent Dragon clearly remembered what Zhao Feng had done in the Divine Illusion dimension. Even if it didn't trade with Bai Lin, the Black Destruction Serpent Dragon wouldn't let Zhao Feng go. Now that the Black Destruction Serpent Dragon knew that Zhao Feng had the ninth God's Eye, it wouldn't let Zhao Feng go. Black Destruction Serpent Dragon! Zhao Feng's expression froze. He could feel the strong killing intent from the Black Destruction Serpent Dragon. The Black Destruction Serpent Dragon was almost unrivaled amongst sacred kings. It had no weaknesses in any aspect, so its speed was extremely fast. Furthermore, the Black Destruction Serpent Dragon had to face the hatred of both Lord dynasties. For its own safety, it needed to enter the Ball of Light as soon as possible. Chapter 1101. The Black Destruction Serpent Dragon was severely injured by Demigod Dragon Emperor, and it had probably recovered to the level of a sacred king in the God Corpse. However, even then, the Black Destruction Serpent Dragon's strength was enough to look down on most sacred kings. At this moment, the Black Destruction Serpent Dragon was traveling at full speed on the path of light. Even Zhao Feng was surprised by its speed. However, the other experts present were even more shocked when they saw Zhao Feng. Those that could stand out from the crowd were all peerless experts that were famous across the continent. They were all at least sacred kings. Even Demigod Dragon Emperor, the strongest expert of the Great Gone Lord dynasty, looked at Zhao Feng with surprise. Good brat, looks like I made the right choice. Demigod Scarlet Blood of the Tai family smiled faintly and said even further away from Zhao Feng. Zhao Feng's speed proved his strength and potential. This human isn't simple. A demigod from the Dark Capital cult looked deeply at Zhao Feng. He obviously wouldn't mind taking care of a junior with such potential if he had the chance. Damn it, this brat! Demigod Ferocity gritted his teeth behind Zhao Feng, but there was nothing he could do. The soul was Demigod Ferocity's weakness. If he tried to catch up to Zhao Feng, he might be affected by the illusions around him, and it would be over if he was hit by the balls of divine power in the sky. Of course, Zhao Feng wasn't the only one that stood out. On the other side, Nan Gongxing's terrifying strength also made many experts shocked. At this moment, Nan Gongxing had reached the late stages of the mystic light realm, and his intent had caught up as well. He could use more of the power of the evil god, and his battle power was extremely strong. At the same time, Kun Yun's speed wasn't any slower than normal demigods. Kun Yun was a body-strengthening expert, and the soul was his weakness. Since he had been reborn, Kun Yun paid a lot of attention to strengthening and consolidating his soul. Sacred King Samsara, Sacred King Darkscreen, and several other non-human sacred kings also performed very well. Zhao Feng soon passed the test of the illusions. Half of the entire path of light has been completed. Zhao Feng's face darkened as he looked ahead. The expressions of the other experts from the two dynasties turned solemn as they slowed down. The real test begins now. A powerful being of a foreign tribe said in a solemn tone. In the previous area, the divine power light balls descending from the sky were extremely huge. Their auras were obvious, their speed was fast, and their range was loose. It was easier to dodge them. At this moment, in front of everyone, the divine power light balls were the size of fists, and their falling speed was doubled. The range was very dense, and the difficulty increased more than twofold. If the first part of the journey was to select the strongest among those of the same cultivation level, then the second part was to select the experts who could challenge those of a higher cultivation level. Moreover, when everyone started to move, there were other tests on the path of light. Xiao xiao xiao. In front of Zhao Feng, densely packed golden light swords shot toward him. Each of the golden swords contained the laws of pure metal and could instantly kill early-stage mystic light realms sacred lords. Buzz buzz buzz. Zhao Feng circulated his sacred lightning body and took the golden swords head-on. Ding! Bam! Several dozen golden swords smashed into Zhao Feng's body and shattered. Luckily, I broke through to the late stages of the 6th level of the sacred lightning body before coming here. Now, even the attacks of normal late-stage mystic light realm sacred lords won't be able to harm me. Zhao Feng was full of confidence. Even if the swords in front of him were formed from the laws of pure metal, they wouldn't be able to pierce through Zhao Feng's defense. His attention was mainly focused on the balls of divine power falling from the sky. On the other side, Demigod Ferocity, who had just passed the test, had an even grimmer expression as he looked at the situation everyone else was facing. I have to surpass that brat. Demigod Ferocity had a vicious expression as he charged forward. Several dozen golden swords also shot out in front of him. Each one of them could instantly kill normal demigods. Although Demigod Ferocity specialized in defense, he didn't dare to block the attacks of these swords and could only dodge. The experts on the other paths of light used their own techniques to deal with the danger in front of them. The tests on the paths of light focused on defense, agility, speed, intent, the 5 elements, and other aspects. Therefore, these tests were rather fair for everyone. Even if some experts spent a bit more time on the tests they weren't good at, they would be able to catch up in the areas they were good at. Zhao Feng's overall speed was slightly slower than a demigod's, but there was almost no test that could make Zhao Feng slow down. Even though the balls of divine power in the sky were extremely dense and fast, Zhao Feng was able to easily dodge them with his god's spiritual eye. Damn it, I can't catch up! The distance between Demigod Ferocity and Zhao Feng grew further and further, and he could only look at Zhao Feng's back. At a certain moment, Zhao Feng's speed caught up to Demigod Withered Breath of Sky Suspension Palace. Your eye bloodline isn't bad. Demigod Withered Breath looked at Zhao Feng and said with praise. Senior, you're too kind. Zhao Feng had been circulating the power of his left eye ever since he entered the path of light. It was because of this that he was able to easily dodge the balls of divine power fallen from above, and catch up to Demigod Withered Breath. Zhao Feng stopped after advancing a bit more. The speed of the lightsaber that was flying towards him also slowed down. I'll recover my energy first. Zhao Feng sat on the path of light. Zhao Feng took out many herbs that could recover yuan qi and soul energy, and ate them. I didn't prepare enough. I should have duplicated a few more portions of the 100 Origins sacred honey. Zhao Feng shook his head. Apart from increasing the chances of breaking through to the mystic light realm, the 100 Origins sacred honey could also quickly heal injuries and recover yuan qi. It was also beneficial to the soul. At this moment, Zhao Feng only had one portion of 100 Origins sacred honey left. Once he used it, he wouldn't be able to duplicate it in the future. Zhao Feng had used up a lot of energy on the way here, and the path of light below was still absorbing the mystic light's sacred power within Zhao Feng's body. If Zhao Feng had a large amount of 100 Origins sacred honey, he could just use it and quickly recover his yuan qi. Zhao Feng set off after resting for a while. Zhao Feng, the moment we reach the end will be the day you die. Demigod Ferocity's voice sounded from the side. Since Zhao Feng had rested for a while, Demigod Ferocity caught up to Zhao Feng once more. That is... Zhao Feng ignored Demigod Ferocity and looked into the distance. Sacred King Samsara ignored the golden swords of light flying toward him on a certain path of light, and allowed them to pass through him, while he sped through the path of light at an extremely fast speed. Anyone that knew Sacred King Samsara knew that he had a Samsara immortal body, so this test was useless against him. However, Sacred King Samsara still relied on his strong senses to dodge the balls of divine power above him. After all, when one's power reached a certain level, even the laws of Samsara could be destroyed. At the same time, Zhao Feng realized that the Black Destruction Serpent Dragon's speed was on par with the peak demigods of both Lord dynasties. The Black Destruction Serpent Dragon seemed to be able to predict where the balls of divine power would land and easily avoided all danger. Black Loach, you really aren't afraid of death? Demigod Dragon Emperor next to the Black Destruction Serpent Dragon said. You still have the face to say that after not being able to kill me twice? The Black Destruction Serpent Dragon laughed mockingly. Humph, let's see how you'll escape at the end. Demigod Dragon Emperor snickered coldly. At this moment, Demigod Dragon Emperor couldn't attack the Black Destruction Serpent Dragon, but once he reached the end, the experts of both Lord dynasties wouldn't let him go. Let's wait and see. The Black Destruction Serpent Dragon revealed a disdainful expression. With the help of the Eye of Destiny, and its own abilities, the Black Destruction Serpent Dragon believed that it would be able to obtain great fortune in between the two Lord dynasties. Zhao Feng looked around. I don't see Yufei. Zhao Feng didn't see Zhao Yufei's figure. This meant that Zhao Yufei wasn't fast enough and might have wasted some time on some test. Zhao Feng believed that with Zhao Yufei's strength, it wouldn't be a problem for her to pass this path of light as long as she spent some time. Whoosh! A pair of scarlet wings of lightning spread behind Zhao Feng's back as he sped through the path of light, relying on the lightning wings flying technique and the god's spiritual eye to avoid the dangers along the way. Zhao Feng soon shook off demigod ferocity once more. As the experts approached the ball of light, the distance between each path of light became even shorter. The paths of light became even shorter, and Zhao Feng was only a couple dozen yards away from demigod withered breath. Luckily, the area outside the path of light had the ability to block everything, so the disturbance of energy from demigod withered breath was unable to affect Zhao Feng. There's still 1,000 yards to the end. Zhao Feng's eyes locked onto the giant ball of light in front of him. Zhao Feng could faintly see the buildings within the ball of light through the bright light. However, the closer one got to the end, the more difficult the tests became. At a certain moment, Zhao Feng saw a non-human demigod leave the path of light before he was hit by the ball of divine power. Zhao Feng! Nan Gongxing was stunned as he looked at Zhao Feng, who was flying through the path of light. He originally wanted to reach the end before Zhao Feng, but it looked like that was impossible now. At this moment, Zhao Feng was on par with the top experts of both Lord dynasties. He was the strongest in the path of light. These people included Demigod Dragon Emperor, Demigod Dark Dragon, Demigod Withered Breath, Demigod Destruction, the Black Destruction Serpent Dragon, Sacred King Samsara, and Zhao Feng. Even Demigod Dark Ocean of Nine Darkness Palace, Demigod Flying Current, Demigod Ferocity, Demigod Scarlet Blood of Sky Sword Pavilion, and other strong demigods were following closely behind the group. Zhao Feng's existence was definitely unusual, and he caught the attention of countless experts. All the experts of the Dark Moon Lord dynasty wanted to kill Zhao Feng. We're almost there. Zhao Feng's eyes flashed. He also felt the killing intent from the non-human experts. Because his performance was too outstanding, almost all the non-human experts had their eyes on him, but there was nothing he could do about it. Boom! Several bolts of red lightning shot toward Zhao Feng from the path of light. This red lightning contained the burning power of fire, and even a wisp of the intent of destruction. This was the final test on the path of light. Whoosh! Zhao Feng didn't dare to face the unique lightning that contained the intent of destruction head-on. He used the lightning wings flying technique to dodge and prepare for the final charge. Chapter 1102. At the last moment, the other experts on the path of light all used their full strength and even took out some hidden cards in preparation for the final charge. Boom! The black destruction serpent dragon at the very front was covered in a layer of origin destruction dragon flames as it charged forward without caring about anything else. Charge! Zhao Feng's eyes focused. When a terrifying surge of wind lightning surged from Zhao Feng's body. This power of wind lightning contained a large amount of God tribulation lightning, and could block the red lightning in the path of light. Zhao Feng used the lightning wings flying technique and turned into a scarlet golden streak of light that instantly left several demigods behind. Zhao Feng's sacred lightning body could be said to have the strongest resistance against lightning. At this moment, Zhao Feng was also using all the power of God tribulation lightning within his sacred lightning body and sacred power whirlpool to block the red lightning in the path of light. At the same time, Zhao Feng circulated his god's spiritual eye to the maximum and flashed through the path of light to avoid the balls of divine power descending from above. The closer they got to the giant ball of light, the more balls of divine power descending from the sky. Experts that specialized in speed had an advantage. The black destruction serpent dragon specializes in the laws of destruction. It's so fast. This human also specializes in the laws of destruction. The group at the very front couldn't help but exclaim. The power of God tribulation lightning? Sacred King Samsara revealed a joyful expression as he looked at Zhao Feng. Light of destruction! Demigod Destruction's eyes flashed with a golden light. His eyes were like golden suns as they released a dazzling golden light that radiated a power of destruction that made one's heart shake. However, the red lightning in his path of light was also extremely terrifying. Boom! The golden light that shot out of Demigod Destruction's eyes clashed with the red lightning that was descending from the sky. Unlike other experts, the owner of the Eyes of Destruction used the most extreme method of destruction to destroy everything in their way. However, Demigod Destruction didn't specialize in speed or defense. Demigod Destruction had been using this method the entire time, which used up a lot of his eye bloodline power. Therefore, the power of his Eyes of Destruction decreased, and his speed wasn't as fast as the Black Destruction Serpent Dragon, or Zhao Feng. Damn it, that black dragon and human brat! Demigod Destruction revealed an unwilling expression. Demigod Destruction, who specialized in the laws of destruction, had been surpassed by the Black Destruction Serpent Dragon and Zhao Feng. This made him feel extremely unhappy. Xiao! The Black Destruction Serpent Dragon was the first to pass through the white barrier on the surface of the ball of light and enter the giant ball of light. Then, Zhao Feng entered the light ball from another direction. Letting that human enter first isn't a big deal, but the Black Destruction Serpent Dragon is. That beast's behavior is a little abnormal. Could it have obtained a support-type substandard god artifact from the god corpse? If we allowed the Black Flood Dragon to obtain even greater opportunities inside, that would be bad. The experts of both Lord Dynasties were very interested in the Black Destruction Serpent Dragon that had entered the mysterious ball of light first. Buzz! Behind the white screen, the scene in front of Zhao Feng's eyes changed dramatically. What entered Zhao Feng's eyes were all kinds of unique buildings, houses, palaces, castles, pavilions, etc. All the buildings were scattered around heaven and earth. For example, there was a giant inverted palace above Zhao Feng's head, and there were all kinds of unique buildings within it. That's 9-star meteoric metal! Zhao Feng's gaze suddenly landed on the stairs of a certain house. 9-star meteoric metal was a legendary treasure in the continent zone, and it was used to craft peak-tier heaven-grade weapons. Apparently, there was only one piece in the Great Gone Lord Dynasty's treasury, and it was the size of an arm. The stairs that Zhao Feng was staring at were made from 9-star meteoric metal, and it was the size of a muscular man. Such a precious ore is only used to make the stairs of that house. Zhao Feng's heart shook as he circulated his left eye and inspected the surroundings. Upon closer inspection, Zhao Feng realized that almost all the decorations here, including the bricks and tiles, were made from precious materials that weren't any lower than 9-star meteoric metal. Zhao Feng didn't even recognize the main materials used to build the houses, palaces, and castles, but the aura and light they gave off proved that the value of these materials was several times greater than 9-star meteoric metal. So the bright light on the surface of the giant ball of light comes from these buildings, Zhao Feng exclaimed. As they walked on the path of light, they could only see the blurry scene within through the bright light. The light was actually emitted by the buildings inside. Meow meow! The little thieving cat appeared on Zhao Feng's shoulder, and its black eyes twinkled. In such a treasured place, any piece of jewelry taken from these buildings would be a peerless treasure in the outside world. Zhao Feng was stunned as he stood there. However, Zhao Feng quickly abandoned his thoughts and calmed his excited heart. After experiencing the fortuitous encounter in the ancient mysterious palace, Zhao Feng knew that the seemingly precious things he was looking at right now were probably just normal, worthless items in the eyes of the owner of the god corpse. The true treasures and fortuitous encounters were definitely hidden within these buildings. "Let's leave this place first," Zhao Feng immediately said. He and the Black Destruction Serpent Dragon were the first to enter this place. The other experts would soon arrive at this treasured ground. At this moment, almost all of the non-human experts were staring at Zhao Feng. If they saw him, they would definitely attack Zhao Feng. Whoosh! Zhao Feng flew between countless strange buildings. In order to deal with the dangers that might appear later, Zhao Feng used the misty spatial world to leave spatial coordinates in many places. There are so many buildings here. Each building should contain good fortune. Zhao Feng's eyes were dazzled. Time was precious, and Zhao Feng had to pick out the buildings that might contain even greater treasures and fortuitous encounters. However, there were simply too many buildings here, and Zhao Feng couldn't make a decision at this moment. Ding! The little thieving cat threw out a few copper coins and pointed in a certain direction. At this moment, Zhao Feng's gaze was also looking in a certain direction. It was the exact same direction that the little thieving cat had divined for. What's over there? There was an enormous palace made of platinum, or extremely far away from where Zhao Feng was. It had an ancient and grand aura. The platinum palace was transparent, and it gave off a dazzling light of various colors. No one could see what was going on inside the transparent building. Whoosh! Zhao Feng flew toward the enormous platinum palace. It didn't take long for Zhao Feng to arrive in the vicinity of this majestic palace. What a powerful divine power aura! Before he even got close, the surging divine power aura made Zhao Feng unable to get close. The fortune within this palace is definitely not normal. Zhao Feng's heart shook as he tried his best to get closer to the platinum palace. There were countless buildings in this dimension. Zhao Feng had walked around for a while, but he had never seen a building that had such a terrifying aura and radiated such a powerful divine power aura. Furthermore, the size of this palace was the largest building that Zhao Feng had ever seen. Every brick and tile was made of a strange or that Zhao Feng didn't recognize. Zhao Feng wouldn't believe that there weren't any treasures or fortuitous encounters inside. When Zhao Feng circulated his sacred lightning body and suddenly charged forward. The entrance to the palace! Zhao Feng circulated his sacred lightning body with all his might and approached the transparent platinum palace's entrance. After a period of hard work, Zhao Feng finally reached the entrance. Bam! Zhao Feng circulated all the power in his body and slammed it against the platinum door. The door won't open! Zhao Feng's heart suddenly sank. Zhao Feng then tried many other methods, but none of them worked. Whoosh! A blood-colored crystal bead appeared in Zhao Feng's hand. Zhao Feng circulated some bloodline divine power and merged it into his palm before slamming it against the platinum door. However, the entrance of the palace did not move in the slightest. There was not the slightest change to it. Even divine power won't work! Zhao Feng was slightly disappointed. As one of the first people to arrive here, he had an advantage that other experts didn't have. Zhao Feng originally thought that he had found a great land of fortune, but the palace's door was tightly shut. This meant that he had wasted his advantage. Looks like fortune is also dependent on luck. Zhao Feng quickly calmed down. With the structure and aura of this palace, even if Zhao Feng could enter, he might not be able to obtain the treasures inside. What's inside? Zhao Feng was prepared to give up on this palace, but before he left, Zhao Feng wanted to see what the palace was like and what kind of heaven-defying treasures it had. When a faint golden ripple appeared in Zhao Feng's left eye. Whoosh! Zhao Feng's gaze started to pierce through the aura and light into the palace. However, Zhao Feng's gaze couldn't see any further after a certain distance. There doesn't seem to be any particularly precious treasures. Zhao Feng was slightly surprised. There didn't seem to be anything special in the palace. There was only a ball of terrifying divine power at the center of the palace that was extremely bright. When Zhao Feng circulated the mysterious golden ball in the dimension of his left eye with all his strength, an even more profound golden ripple appeared in his eyes. Zhao Feng's gaze stared at the ball of divine power in the palace and peered into it. At a certain moment, Zhao Feng's body shook, and his pupils contracted. A person's figure! Zhao Feng couldn't believe his eyes. There was a blurry figure in the center of the ball of divine power in the palace. How was this possible? Could this person be the owner of this god corpse? Cold sweat covered Zhao Feng's body, and countless thoughts ran through his mind. Right when Zhao Feng was about to leave, the eyes of the figure suddenly opened. Zhao Feng! A wondrous voice sounded in Zhao Feng's mind. Xian Wuheng! Zhao Feng was stunned, and he stood there in a daze. Zhao Feng was extremely familiar with this voice. But how could the figure in the center of the ball of divine power be Xian Wuheng? Zhao Feng suddenly remembered that this god corpse seemed to have appeared because Xian Wuheng had done something. Ever since then, Zhao Feng thought that Xian Wuheng had been destroyed by the divine power that had suddenly appeared underground. He didn't expect Xian Wuheng to be here. At this moment, Zhao Feng finally understood that Xian Wuheng might have walked on the path of light he saw back then. It turned out that Xian Wuheng had arrived here a step earlier than anyone else here. Zhao Feng, there's not much time left. Every building here is a fortuitous encounter. Choose one based on your intuition. Xian Wuheng's faint voice sounded in Zhao Feng's mind. Right at this moment, a figure appeared not far away. Demigod Dark Dragon of the Non-Humans! Zhao Feng's body shook, and his scalp went numb. The strongest demigod of the non-humans, the Grand Elder of the Dark Capital Cult, Demigod Dark Dragon, was rumored to have the number 1 terrifying bloodline in the Imperial Dao. Goodbye! At this moment, Zhao Feng didn't have the time to continue chatting with Xian Wuheng. If he was caught by Demigod Dark Dragon, it would be very difficult for Zhao Feng to escape even with the misty spatial world and the god's slaying arrow. Whoosh! Zhao Feng waved the misty spatial world on his left arm, and his figure disappeared in a flash of silver. Disaster is about to descend. This is my compensation to all of you. Find your own fortuitous encounters. Xian Wuheng sighed within the golden white palace after Zhao Feng left. Chapter 1103. Next to an antique pavilion. One schwa. A layer of silver light appeared in the air, and the figures of Zhao Feng and the little thieving cats slowly appeared. So close. Almost all the demigods of both Lord dynasties have entered. Zhao Feng felt a sense of urgency. If Zhao Feng met the experts of the Great Gone Lord dynasty, he would definitely be protected by them. Of course, Demigod Dark Ocean was an exception. However, if he moved with the demigods of the Great Gone Lord dynasty, Zhao Feng's fortune would be reduced to the minimum. After all, while the human demigods might protect Zhao Feng, they wouldn't give the great fortune and precious treasures to Zhao Feng. Therefore, Zhao Feng decided to move alone. Furthermore, Zhao Feng had already left many spatial coordinates here. As long as he was careful, there shouldn't be a problem. At this moment, Zhao Feng thought back to his encounter with Xian Wuheng. The figure in the golden white palace was Xian Wuheng. This made Zhao Feng extremely shocked and in disbelief. At the same time, Zhao Feng started to think about what Xian Wuheng said to him. Zhao Feng, there isn't much time. Every building here is a fortune. Choose one based on your feelings. This sentence made Zhao Feng feel as if all the fortune here was set up by Xian Wuheng. Of course, this wasn't the main point. There were two things that made Zhao Feng think about it. Firstly, Xian Wuheng said that there wasn't much time. Zhao Feng guessed that the fortune here would only exist for a short period of time, or it would have to stop due to other reasons. Secondly, Xian Wuheng said that there were a lot of fortune here and told Zhao Feng to choose one. There were so many fortune here, so why did Xian Wuheng tell Zhao Feng to choose one? Or rather, he could only choose one. Could there be some kind of restriction here? One person can only enter one building and obtain one fortune? Zhao Feng guessed. If that was the case, Zhao Feng would really be happy. When Zhao Feng first entered this place, he resisted the temptation and didn't enter any of the buildings. Instead, he looked around and left behind spatial coordinates with the misty spatial world. Regardless of whether what Xian Wuheng said was true or not, Zhao Feng had to treat it as the truth just in case. In addition, Zhao Feng also thought of something. Since Xian Wuheng was in the Platinum Palace Hall, did that mean that it was Xian Wuheng's opportunity? On the other hand, this also proved that Zhao Feng and the little thieving cat's vision was correct. That Platinum Palace was the greatest fortune here, but it only belonged to Xian Wuheng. After that, Zhao Feng opened his god's spiritual eye and observed his surroundings. Every building is a fortuitous encounter. Naturally, I can't choose the worst one, Zhao Feng said firmly. Buzz. A faint golden ripple spread across Zhao Feng's left eye. Those buildings that Zhao Feng saw through with a single glance were directly ignored by Zhao Feng. Whoosh! Zhao Feng carefully flew through the mysterious space filled with buildings and observed every single one of them. At a certain moment, Zhao Feng saw a demigod from the dark capital cult in a small wooden house. After the demigod entered the small wooden hut, he took away almost everything that could be looted. However, when this demigod left the wooden door, his body disappeared amidst a forceful space law. As I thought, one person can only obtain one fortuitous encounter. Zhao Feng felt lucky once again. According to the situation on the path of light, Zhao Feng guessed that this demigod had been forcefully teleported to another place in the god corpse. At the same time, Zhao Feng was extremely confused as to how Xian Wuheng knew all of this. Ding! Ding! The little thieving cat threw the ancient coin in its hand and started to perform divination. Meow meow! The little thieving cat waved its paws and pointed a direction for Zhao Feng. Okay, I'll believe you. Zhao Feng trusted the little thieving cat's divination ability. Furthermore, when Zhao Feng saw the golden white palace, the little thieving cat's divination also pointed in that direction. Whoosh! Zhao Feng carefully headed in the direction that the little thieving cat pointed in. On the way, Zhao Feng saw demigod Qi Shui of the Tai family. Lao Feng's expression didn't change. He only continued to move after the other party left. There doesn't seem to be any special or grand buildings, Zhao Feng murmured after flying for a while. Zhao Feng suddenly stopped. This is a clock tower. Zhao Feng's eyes locked onto an enormous clock tower. The size and brilliance of the cyan light clock tower were much more outstanding than the other buildings here, but they were far inferior to the magnificent Platinum Palace. However, the reason why this clock tower attracted Zhao Feng's attention was that Zhao Feng's left eye couldn't see through it. Even when Zhao Feng circulated the see-through ability of his left eye to the maximum, he could only see through the outer part of the clock tower. This clock tower isn't normal, and its structure seems to be something from the Heaven's Legacy race, Zhao Feng said in a certain tone. Zhao Feng then walked next to the clock tower and prepared to observe it from a closer distance. However, a figure walked out from the other side of the clock tower at this moment. Zhao Feng! The expression of the giant non-human figure turned to surprise as he said excitedly. Demigod Ferocity was originally observing this clock tower as well. This clock tower was extremely unique. It blocked off divine sense, so he didn't realize that Zhao Feng was behind it. Demigod Ferocity! Zhao Feng's voice shook. Zhao Feng's see-through ability couldn't see through the clock tower, and Zhao Feng's divine sense was blocked as well, so Zhao Feng didn't realize that demigod ferocity was on the other side of the clock tower. I'm too close. I can't use the misty spatial world. Zhao Feng's heart tightened as he felt a sense of death. Firstly, the misty spatial world needed to be teleported in a stable space. Secondly, the misty spatial world didn't teleport instantly. It needed half a breath's time. With such a close distance, demigod ferocity could kill Zhao Feng several dozen times over in half a breath's time. That's the only way! Zhao Feng led the little thieving cat and charged into the open clock tower. The doors of the clock tower immediately closed after Zhao Feng entered. Ha ha ha, where do you think you're going? Demigod ferocity laughed as he turned into a streak of dark light and charged through the closing doors. He didn't think that his luck would be so good that he would meet the person he wanted to kill so easily. Damn it, he came in as well! Zhao Feng's expression changed slightly, and he was slightly puzzled. Zhao Feng originally thought that the clock tower would completely close once he entered the building, just like the Golden White Palace. When Xian Wuheng was inside, Zhao Feng couldn't enter no matter what. From the looks of it, Zhao Feng was wrong. Zhao Feng flew through the floors of the clock tower and saw many treasures on the way, but he didn't have time to pick them up. Whoosh! A dark silver bow and a dark golden arrow appeared in Zhao Feng's hand. Zhao Feng pulled the bowstring and shot out the substandard god-slaying arrow. Whoosh! A giant dark golden arrow pierced through everything, dragging a terrifying dark golden energy storm behind it as it flew downward. You want to hurt me with such a small thing? Demigod ferocity had a nasty smile on his face. From his point of view, Zhao Feng wouldn't be able to escape this time. It wouldn't be too late to find a fortuitous encounter after he killed Zhao Feng. Whoosh! A dark red incomplete giant axe appeared in Demigod Ferocity's hand. Divine power surged as Demigod Ferocity used his weapon to block in front of him. Boom! A terrifying storm of energy instantly swept across the area. The other items in the clock tower were completely undamaged. Die! Demigod Ferocity roared with laughter as he waved the incomplete giant axe in his hand and slashed out a dark red wave. Whoosh! Whoosh! Zhao Feng quickly hid behind a white railing. Boom! Demigod Ferocity's attack was blocked by the white railing in front of Zhao Feng. It didn't even leave a mark. Little thieving cat! Zhao Feng asked the little thieving cat for help in this dangerous situation. This was because Zhao Feng knew that the little thieving cat had a divine weapon. If the little thieving cat used this divine weapon, severely injuring Demigod Ferocity shouldn't be a problem. As long as Demigod Ferocity was severely injured, Zhao Feng would have a chance to breathe and use the misty spatial world to leave. Meow meow! The little thieving cat shook its head and gestured, indicating that it couldn't use the power of the divine weapon just yet. Zhao Feng's expression became grim. At the same time, he understood that the requirements to use a divine weapon were extremely strict. Firstly, the divine weapon needed to recognize an owner. Once it did, no one else could use it unless the intent imprint on it was wiped away. Secondly, the divine weapon needed a period of refinement before it could unleash its full power. Lastly, the divine weapon needed pure divine power to activate. Do I have to use the god-slaying arrow? Zhao Feng was unwilling to give up. Even if he used the god-slaying arrow, Zhao Feng wasn't confident that he could kill Demigod Ferocity. He would have to use the misty spatial world to leave, which meant that Zhao Feng had completely given up on the fortune here. How much longer can you hide? Demigod Ferocity had a smug smile as he closed in on Zhao Feng. Whoosh! Whoosh! Two figures started to quickly climb up the clock tower. At this moment, Zhao Feng had reached the top of the clock tower. This is... Zhao Feng's expression froze for a moment. There was only a metal platform at the top of the clock tower, and a triangular-shaped piece of black metal floated above it. There were countless green lines on the piece of metal, and it flashed with a faint light. This should be the most precious treasure in the entire clock tower. Zhao Feng couldn't tell what it was, but he could guess what it was. Let's go all out. I need to get something at the very least. Zhao Feng reached out toward the triangular-shaped piece of metal on the platform, and his intent entered the misty spatial world in preparation to take out the god's slaying arrow at any moment. At the very least, Zhao Feng needed to get something before he used the misty spatial world to leave. However, when Zhao Feng's palm touched the triangular-shaped piece of black metal, a shocking green divine light shot out. The bright green light lit up everything and covered everything at the same time. At the same time, a cold mechanical voice sounded from the black triangular-shaped piece of metal. 2 lifeforms detected approaching. Starting competition mode. What's going on? Demigod Ferocity revealed a fearful expression when he sensed this terrifying divine aura. The green divine light faded, and Zhao Feng and Demigod Ferocity appeared in another dimension. The sky was empty, and the ground was made of metal. There were also many unique metal buildings in the distance. Zhao Feng and Demigod Ferocity stood on a green metal platform several hundred yards long. There was a metal platform in the center of the platform, and a triangular-shaped piece of black metal floated above it. Competition mode has been activated. Only the victor has the right to try and make the divine weapon recognize him as its owner. Chapter 1104. Zhao Feng and Demigod Ferocity stood on a green metal board that was several hundred yards long. There was a metal stage in the center of the metal board, and a black triangular piece of metal floated above it. Contest mode has been activated. Only the victor has the right to try and get the divine weapon to recognize him as its owner. A robotic voice sounded from the floating triangular piece of metal. Divine weapon! Demigod Ferocity's heart shook as he stared at the floating piece of metal. Even Zhao Feng forgot about the danger he was in. Although Zhao Feng didn't know what kind of divine weapon it was, it definitely had its own unique characteristics. No matter how useless it was, heaven-grade divine weapons couldn't compare to it. Ha ha ha, my luck is pretty good. I can kill you and obtain a divine weapon at the same time. Demigod Ferocity suddenly started to laugh. From his point of view, this divine weapon would definitely be his. Zhao Feng's expression became grim. Although he didn't know what the contest mode was, Zhao Feng's chances of winning were indeed lower. Begin the inspection! 2 transparent beams of golden light instantly shot out from the metal stage and scanned across Zhao Feng and Demigod Ferocity. Soul Intent, Mystic Light Sacred Power, and Physical Defense have all reached the peak stages of the Mystic Light realm. Powerful Bloodline, Fire Elemental Bloodline, Unknown Eye Bloodline. The robotic voice sounded. Zhao Feng's expression paused for a moment. He didn't expect this metal stage to be able to inspect his strength so accurately. On the other side, Demigod Ferocity's expression changed. Zhao Feng's strength did indeed surpass others of the same cultivation, but he didn't expect Zhao Feng to have reached the peak stages of the Mystic Light realm in all 3 aspects. Mystic Light Sacred Power, Soul Intent have reached the peak stages of Sacred King, Physical Defense is slightly strong, and he has a high-tier bloodline that has formed divine power. Low-tier Demigod. Compared to Zhao Feng, Demigod Ferocity's evaluation wasn't anything special. Demigod Ferocity even felt slightly embarrassed. The next instant, 3 unknown green substances surged out of the green metal plates that Zhao Feng and Demigod Ferocity were on. The green substances twisted and turned into 3 human-shaped mechanical puppets. Of the 3 mechanical puppets in front of Zhao Feng, the first stood in front of Zhao Feng, the second stood in the middle of the cyan iron plate, and the third was close to the divine artifact. No external forces are allowed. Whoever defeats 3 mechanical puppets first will be the winner. The last sentence came from the metal platform. Zhao Feng inspected the first automaton in front of him. Its soul intent, mystic light sacred power, and physical defense had all reached the late stages. It also had a strong eye bloodline power. In short, this mechanical puppet had the same strength as Zhao Feng. On the other side, the 3 automatons in front of Demigod Ferocity were extremely close to his own strength. What kind of stupid test is this? Demigod Ferocity cursed. Defeating 3 experts of the same level was indeed difficult. It was impossible for an ordinary person to do so. At this moment, the mechanical puppet in front of Zhao Feng moved, using a profound footwork technique to approach Zhao Feng. Based on the situation, it seems like he's going to defeat the 3 mechanical puppets one by one instead of fighting them at the same time. Of the 3 puppets, only the one closest to Zhao Feng moved. As long as Zhao Feng defeated the 3 mechanical puppets one by one and was faster than demigod ferocity, he would be the winner. At that moment, Zhao Feng felt a little regretful. He should have sped up and replicated more substandard god-slaying arrows. If he had used the substandard god-slaying arrows, Zhao Feng should have been able to defeat the 3 mechanical puppets easily. However, Zhao Feng had used up all of his substandard god-slaying arrows. Although he could defeat the 3 metallic puppets with the god-slaying arrow and obtain victory in the end, the god-slaying arrow was not enough. However, the metal stage said, "The winner has the right to try and get the divine weapon to recognize him as its master." If Zhao Feng used the god-slaying arrows and the divine weapon failed to recognize him as its master, wouldn't that be a huge loss? When Zhao Feng immediately circulated his sacred lightning body and released the projection of his little world of wind lightning. Boom! In the first exchange, Zhao Feng wanted to test the waters, but he was pushed back several steps by the mechanical puppet. "The strength of this mechanical puppet is the same as me at my peak," Zhao Feng immediately concluded. Furthermore, the laws of this dimension were extremely unique. Zhao Feng was unable to communicate with the laws of heaven and earth, so his battle with the mechanical puppet wasn't as earth-shattering as he imagined. Instead, it was suppressed to the minimum. "I'll kill Zhao Feng first. The winner will be me." Demigod Ferocity suddenly thought of something and flew into the air toward Zhao Feng. However, just as he flew past the head of the second mechanical puppet, the eyes of the second mechanical puppet suddenly flashed, and it attacked Demigod Ferocity at the same time as the first mechanical puppet. "What's going on?" Demigod Ferocity started to panic. From the looks of it, if he flew to Zhao Feng's side, he would have to face the attacks of all 3 mechanical puppets on the green metal board at the same time. Demigod Ferocity instantly flew back to his original position, and the light in the second mechanical puppet's eyes dimmed as well. Helpless, Demigod Ferocity could only fight the first mechanical puppet obediently. On the other side, Zhao Feng saw everything. Sky-destroying sacred lightning palm! Zhao Feng merged his sacred power of wind lightning and unleashed a scarlet golden palm of lightning. The mechanical puppet also used a heaven-grade technique and unleashed a scarlet red fist of fire. Boom! This time, Zhao Feng used his full strength and was on par with the mechanical puppet. "Normal methods won't be able to defeat this mechanical puppet." Zhao Feng's eyes became grim. On the other side, Demigod Ferocity also realized this problem. These mechanical puppets had the same abilities as Zhao Feng and Demigod Ferocity, and their thoughts weren't any weaker than a normal person's. In fact, their battle analysis was even more accurate. However, the only thing they lacked was a trump card and a killing move. "You've underestimated my eye bloodline." Zhao Feng gave a faint smile. The mechanical puppet in front of him obviously had soul intent and a unique eye bloodline power, but Zhao Feng didn't believe that this mechanical puppet's eye could be compared to Zhao Feng's god's spiritual eye. "Forbidden illusion lost world." Zhao Feng first used his strongest illusion to test it out. Whoosh! Zhao Feng's left eye turned into a limitless purple and gold maze world that radiated a fatal attraction. On the other side, the mechanical puppet circulated the power of its eye bloodline and unleashed an illusion attack as well. 2 surges of mental energy and illusion power clashed together. The next instant, Zhao Feng's mental energy illusion pushed back the mechanical puppet's illusion. Success! Zhao Feng's expression was filled with joy. The power of the mechanical puppet's eye bloodline might be ranked in the top 20 among Imperial Dao bloodlines, but it definitely couldn't be compared to Zhao Feng's god's spiritual eye. The mechanical puppet's abilities instantly decreased after being affected by Zhao Feng's illusion eye bloodline technique. Sky-destroying sacred lightning palm. Zhao Feng once again used the powerful sacred lightning body and slammed it onto the mechanical puppet's body. However, this mechanical puppet's physical defense was the same as Zhao Feng's, so Zhao Feng's palm didn't critically injure it. With this palm, the mechanical puppet woke up from Zhao Feng's illusion eye bloodline technique. Illusion soul charge. Zhao Feng once again released a small-scale illusion eye bloodline technique as he charged forward and unleashed several scarlet golden palms. Boom! Pun! Pun! The first mechanical puppet was soon defeated by Zhao Feng. Not far away, the eyes of the second mechanical puppet suddenly lit up, and an invisible aura spread out. Come! Zhao Feng didn't show any weakness and charged toward the second mechanical puppet. This time, Zhao Feng used the same tactic as before and used a simple illusion eye bloodline technique right away. This mechanical puppet seems to have a certain resistance to illusions. Zhao Feng was slightly surprised. Could it be that the last mechanical puppet was defeated by an illusion, so this mechanical puppet became stronger in this area? Zhao Feng guessed in his heart. On the other side, Demigod Ferocity's expression became anxious as he saw Zhao Feng defeat a mechanical puppet so quickly. Screw it! Demigod Ferocity revealed a deadly expression as a blood-red crystal pill appeared in his hand. This was one of the trump cards that Demigod Ferocity had prepared for this god corpse, the Blood Vengeance Mad Demonic Pill. It could instantly increase Demigod Ferocity's abilities by several times, and it contained a surge of killing intent within his sacred power, making it even more powerful. Boom! Demigod Ferocity's aura suddenly changed after eating this pill, and a dark red aura of killing intent spread across his body. At a glance, he looked like a demonic god from hell. Kill! Demigod Ferocity waved the weapon in his hand after eating the Blood Vengeance Mad Demonic Pill and used the Sky Ferocious Slash. One boom! The huge red wavy blade brought with it a monstrous killing intent as it slammed towards the mechanical golem with the momentum of tearing everything apart. The mechanical puppet in front of Demigod Ferocity was only able to block it for a short while before being defeated. The second one. Demigod Ferocity had an expression of madness and pain as he charged toward the second mechanical puppet. Although Demigod Ferocity's battle power was strong, he still had a lot of rationality left. He knew that he couldn't maintain this state for too long, so he had to finish the battle as soon as possible. On the other side, Zhao Feng couldn't keep hiding anymore after seeing Demigod Ferocity go all out. Mental Energy Spike. Wind Lightning Eye Flame. This time, Zhao Feng used a powerful offensive eye bloodline technique on the mechanical puppet in front of him. This mechanical puppet also used an offensive soul eye bloodline technique on Zhao Feng, but Zhao Feng had the god's spiritual eye and was extremely resistant to soul-based attacks, so he wasn't very affected. Tribulation Lightning Eye Flame. Zhao Feng circulated a portion of his god Tribulation Lightning symbols and used his Tribulation Lightning Eye bloodline technique. A ball of twisting god Tribulation Lightning symbols burned like fire and exploded in the mechanical puppet's head with a terrifying soul aura. Boom! Zhao Feng punched out and sent the mechanical puppet flying. At the same time, Demigod Ferocity also killed the second mechanical puppet and charged toward the third. Boom! Pun! Pun! Zhao Feng realized that this metallic puppet had a certain level of resistance against Zhao Feng's soul illusions and offensive eye bloodline techniques. The strength of this metallic puppet is probably the same as Sacred King Green Light. Zhao Feng evaluated. Sacred King Green Light was a middle-tier Sacred King amongst Sacred Kings. He was stronger than normal Sacred Kings, but he wasn't as strong as Sacred Kings like Sacred King Feather Spirit and Sacred King Dark Screen. At this moment, the battlefield between Zhao Feng and Demigod Ferocity was only a couple dozen yards away. If it wasn't for the fact that this dimension suppressed intense and power, Zhao Feng probably wouldn't even be able to block the shockwaves from Demigod Ferocity's battle. The Blood Vengeance Mad Demonic Pill won't last for long. The mechanical puppet is even stronger. Demigod Ferocity knew the current situation very well. If that's the case, then I'll kill you first. Demigod Ferocity revealed a vicious expression. At this moment, he had already defeated 2 mechanical puppets, so he didn't need to be scared of being surrounded by multiple mechanical puppets. Furthermore, from Demigod Ferocity's point of view, killing Zhao Feng wasn't hard at all. As long as he killed Zhao Feng and slowly killed the last mechanical puppet, he would be able to obtain victory. Thinking up to there, Demigod Ferocity took the attack of the 3rd mechanical puppet head-on and closed in on Zhao Feng. He waved the weapon in his hand and was about to attack Zhao Feng. Chapter 1105. Zhao Feng had been using his god's spiritual eye the entire time he was fighting against the 3rd mechanical puppet. Therefore, Zhao Feng felt that something was wrong when Demigod Ferocity approached him. Zhao Feng used the lightning wings flying technique to barely dodge Demigod Ferocity's attack. At the same time, Zhao Feng realized that the situation wasn't good. Right now, Demigod Ferocity only needed to stall the last mechanical puppet and occasionally attack Zhao Feng to force Zhao Feng into despair or kill Zhao Feng. Demigod Ferocity's first attack didn't succeed, so he took the attack of the mechanical puppet head-on and prepared to unleash a second attack at Zhao Feng. Wind Lightning Eye Flame! Zhao Feng circulated his eye intent and God Tribulation lightning symbols, and purple and gold flames burned in his left eye and flashed with a white and gold pattern of God Tribulation lightning. Boom! A ball of transparent purple and gold lightning fire with the aura of God Tribulation lightning exploded in Demigod Ferocity's head. Arg! Demigod Ferocity harumphed. He didn't expect Zhao Feng to dare to fight back, so he was caught off guard. Dao Feng's soul intent now surpassed normal late-stage mystic light realm sacred lords. Although the Wind Lightning Eye Flame wasn't able to do much damage to Demigod Ferocity, it was still able to affect him. Demigod Ferocity's attack was interrupted, and he paused for a moment. On the other side, the mechanical puppet started to attack Demigod Ferocity fiercely and injured him. However, Demigod Ferocity soon recovered and stabilized the situation as he prepared to attack Zhao Feng again. Demigod Ferocity, don't force me! At this moment, Zhao Feng said with a resolute expression. Hee, ignorant ant! Demigod Ferocity laughed in disdain. If Zhao Feng had a way to stop him, he would have used it when he was chasing him. At that time, Zhao Feng, the other sacred lords, Kun Yun, and Sacred King Darkscreen were still being chased by Demigod Ferocity. Now Zhao Feng was the only one left. What could he do? However, in the next instant, Demigod Ferocity was completely stunned. A scarlet gold arrow suddenly appeared in Zhao Feng's hand. The moment the scarlet gold arrow appeared, it emitted an indestructible golden divine radiance that could pierce through all things. Even the metal-attributed ores in the surroundings trembled slightly. The mechanical puppet in front of Zhao Feng sensed the danger of death and retreated, not daring to attack Zhao Feng. On the metal platform in front of him, the fine green lines on the triangular iron block flashed with a bright luster, and then disappeared. God's slaying arrow! Demigod Ferocity's expression changed dramatically, and cold sweat appeared on his forehead. Under normal circumstances, he was confident that he could block Zhao Feng's god-slaying arrow. However, he was facing a demigod-level mechanical puppet at the moment. If he were to be severely injured by the god-slaying arrow, wouldn't he die in the hands of this demigod-level mechanical puppet? Right as Demigod Ferocity started to panic, a powerful surge of eye intent started to circulate within Zhao Feng's left eye. A ball of God Tribulation lightning symbols started to appear in Zhao Feng's left eye. Each God Tribulation lightning symbol contained a wisp of soul eye flame that eventually formed a ball of purple God Tribulation lightning soul flame. Voom! A ball of twisted God Tribulation lightning symbols burned like flames and contained a terrifying soul aura as it landed on Demigod Ferocity's soul. Arg! This time, Demigod Ferocity screamed in pain. His soul seemed to be pierced by limitless destructive lightning, and waves of bone-piercing pain spread throughout his body from the depths of his soul. Humph, I'm just scaring you! Zhao Feng snickered coldly and put away the god-slaying arrow. Although Zhao Feng's Tribulation lightning eye flame succeeded, Demigod Ferocity was still a demigod. Even if his soul intent was slightly weaker, it wouldn't be much weaker, so the tribulation lightning eye flame didn't do much damage to demigod ferocity. However, at this moment, the effects of demigod ferocity's blood fiend frenzy demonic pill were starting to disappear, and he was also facing the attacks of the demigod automaton while being struck by the tribulation lightning eye flame. All of these factors together were enough to injure him. However, the opponent was a demigod, and he wouldn't be completely defeated by a single eye bloodline technique from Xiao Feng. As long as he recovered, he would be able to turn the situation around. However, Xiao Feng wouldn't give him this chance. Xiao Feng started to prepare his next eye bloodline technique after using the tribulation lightning eye flame. Xiao Feng's left eye suddenly flashed with a mysterious light, and his golden hair started to blow without any wind. The mysterious golden ball in the dimension of his left eye started to spin, and layers of mysterious golden ripples that seemed to contain the essence of everything in the world flowed into Xiao Feng's left eye. God! Eye! Disintegration! A weird purple and gold light flashed in Xiao Feng's left eye. Layers of transparent golden ripples started to spread and instantly passed through demigod ferocity thousands of times, analyzing the structure of his body. Xiao Feng locked onto demigod ferocity and started to disintegrate him. Demigod ferocity had a weird feeling after recovering from the pain of Xiao Feng's tribulation lightning eye flame. Suddenly, demigod ferocity realized that his body was slowly disappearing. Tiny particles that couldn't even be seen with the naked eye were slowly disappearing as if they never existed. At the same time, demigod ferocity's soul also started to disappear. Everything about him was disappearing. On the other side, Xiao Feng, who had fully activated his sacred lightning body and defensive techniques, took the attacks of the automaton head-on and continued to use the god eye disintegration to weaken demigod ferocity so that he could defeat demigod ferocity with the help of the demigod automaton. At the same time, Xiao Feng also felt that his eye intent was quickly disappearing. As expected, disintegrating a demigod wasn't a joke. "What are you doing?" demigod ferocity exclaimed. At this moment, he felt that his soul, body, and sacred power were all slowly disappearing. After being hit by Xiao Feng's soul eye bloodline technique just now, the effects of the blood fiend berserk demonic pill had also disappeared. He was already having a hard time facing the demigod automaton, let alone attacking Xiao Feng. On top of that, the divine weapon already said that he couldn't use external power. Therefore, demigod ferocity couldn't send out a clone, just like how Xiao Feng couldn't ask the little thieving cat to help. Boom! Demigod ferocity's power kept on decreasing as he fought against the automaton. Adding on the fear in his heart, he was at a disadvantage. In the physical dimension, demigod ferocity didn't have the time to attack Xiao Feng. If that's the case, then I'll use soul attacks. Although demigod ferocity didn't specialize in the soul, it wasn't a problem for him to use some normal soul attacks with his soul intent. Demigod ferocity believed that with his powerful soul intent, even the most basic soul attacks would be able to deal destructive damage to Xiao Feng's soul. One boom! Demigod ferocity's slightly weakened soul intent combined with some soul power turned into the image of a giant mammoth that crushed toward Xiao Feng. Humph! Xiao Feng harumphed as his soul was hit, but he still didn't stop using the god eye disintegration. Although demigod ferocity's soul attack didn't have any technique, it was still extremely strong. However, Xiao Feng had a huge advantage in terms of soul defense. Whether it was the god's spiritual eye's soul defense, or the lightning soul body's soul defense, they were both extremely powerful. What? He blocked it! Demigod ferocity was stunned once again. He couldn't imagine that an early-stage mystic light realm sacred lord would be able to block his soul intent. Even if Xiao Feng's soul intent had reached the peak late-stage mystic light realm, this was impossible. Again! Demigod ferocity circulated his soul intent as he blocked the automaton and charged toward Xiao Feng once more. The situation isn't good! Xiao Feng's expression became grim. Disintegrating a demigod took more energy than he had imagined. Although demigod ferocity's power was being continuously weakened by his god eye disintegration, Although demigod Ferocity's eye disintegration was also weakening, Zhao Feng might not be able to last much longer than demigod Ferocity. He was facing the attacks of the automaton, and his eye intent was quickly being used up. He also had to block the demigod's weakened soul intent. Demigod Ferocity's soul attack this time might be able to stop Zhao Feng's god eye disintegration and make Zhao Feng fail. However, Zhao Feng still gathered his soul intent and continued to block. Pun! 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 A rapid thumping sound came from Zhao Feng's left eye. The ancient shattering, the ancient gods perishing, turning into billions of dust. A desolate sigh seemed to pass through time and space and resounded in Zhao Feng's ears. Boom! The mysterious golden ball within the dimension of his left eye shook, and Zhao Feng's eye bloodline power started to boil. A faint golden flame covered Zhao Feng's body. Boom! A dominating aura of the ancient origin radiated from the god's spiritual eye as it looked down on the universe and desolate. All of a sudden, Zhao Feng seemed to turn into a giant god from the ancient era. His every action shook heaven and earth. Boom! This sudden development caused Zhao Feng's eye intent to rise to a whole new level. In addition, his god eye disintegration was also interrupted. On the other side, demigod Ferocity's soul intent clashed with the aura of the ancient origin intent and suffered a terrifying backlash. Bam! Demigod Ferocity's soul was severely injured, and he spat out a mouthful of blood. This is the aura of the ancient era and the ancient origin intent. Demigod Ferocity's expression was filled with fear. The sudden change in Zhao Feng's body made him panic. At the same time, he craved the ancient origin intent from Zhao Feng's body. That was the key to breaking through to the heavenly divine realm. The demigod automaton in front of demigod Ferocity stopped attacking him and bowed in front of Zhao Feng. I'll just kill you! Demigod Ferocity's eyes spun as a fierce expression appeared on his face. Demigod Ferocity was already in despair, but he suddenly realized that Zhao Feng's eye bloodline technique had already stopped, and the demigod automaton had also bowed to him and didn't attack him. At this moment, Zhao Feng's soul intent was strengthened by a terrifying power. If that was the case, then demigod Ferocity would just destroy Zhao Feng's body. Sky Ferocious Slash! Demigod Ferocity endured his injuries and slashed out with his giant axe, unleashing a dark red wave of energy. Not good! Zhao Feng's expression changed faintly. At this moment, his soul intent was extremely strong, and he could severely injure demigod Ferocity with a powerful soul eye bloodline technique. However, he couldn't block the attacks of a demigod in the physical dimension. Unless Zhao Feng used a soul attack without caring about anything else, and was lucky enough to kill demigod Ferocity, he wouldn't be able to win. However, if that happened, Zhao Feng's body would be completely destroyed. However, something unexpected happened right at this moment. The green lines on the black triangular piece of metal between Zhao Feng and demigod Ferocity suddenly released a powerful green divine light. Whoosh! Whoosh! The lines on the triangular piece of metal started to move in a certain path. Suddenly, a machine-like voice sounded. The divine weapon has successfully recognized him. You're tuning into the Phoenix Knights YouTube channel. Don't forget to subscribe and join us on this journey to catch the most captivating stories.